I can't get these memories out of my mind, and some kind of madness has started to evolve. I tried so hard to let you go, but some kind of madness is swallowing me whole. Yeah, I have finally seen the light, and I have finally realized what you mean. And now I need to know, is this real love, or is it just madness keeping us afloat? And when I look back at all the crazy fights we had, it's like some kind of madness was taking control. Yeah, and now I have finally seen the light, and I have finally realized no expression. Hide my head, I want to drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And to feel the way that every child should. Sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, 'cause I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Mad world. Mad world. One pen makes you larger, and one pen makes you small. And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 2 feet small.
Hi there, guys.
I was hoping you'd get it wrong.
I am Casual Cactus, and welcome to Casual Cactus and our weekly D&D sessions. If you know, last week we were short a few people, so we let Braden have the big chair. He ran us through a Western that we had a ton of fun with, and that is actually up on the YouTube channel. So you guys can go check that out and see what we did and how that played. I was working through, or I was playtesting one of our gunslinger subclasses. Had a lot of fun. Braden threw some of my other creations at us. That was terrifying. I thought we were all going to die. But we didn't. We had fun, and hope you guys had fun watching that as well.
I've found out that it's bad to have a healer.
It's bad to have a healer?
It's bad to not have a healer.
Oh,
sorry.
bad to not have a healer.
I've
Yes, well.
in my brain.
So that's pretty standard fare for D&D. So, but go check that out. It's on the YouTube channel. We had a lot of fun with that, and we are back now to Danny. We have everyone here, I think, except Kyrie this evening. She was feeling a little run down, so she's staying at home. Hope you're feeling better. Griffey, hope you can get back to the table with us next week. We've already mentioned the YouTube channel. I will go ahead and throw the Discord server link up as well. Just as a reminder, we do have that Discord server running. It's a good place to catch all the news and keep up to date with what's going on with us. Not only this channel, but also Danny and Kyrie's creative streams when they do those. I know Kyrie does quite a few. I think she streams pretty much every day, so check that out. We also have an in-character section we call the Hagsmaster. It's a good place to interact in character. It is system agnostic, so you can bring in a character from pretty much wherever.
Didn't see who the last person was.
I've missed something because I'm doing the pre-show spiel,
Mm-hmm.
but that's okay.
They're already calling not me for the recap.
You guys realize I wasn't here last time. It doesn't matter. It's got to be one of you guys.
It could be Danny.
I think Natalie was last.
Anyway, we will get to that. So just as a reminder, the Discord server is up and running as well, so you guys can check in with us on that. Did upload a couple of documents that you might find interesting. One of them being our gunslinger class that we worked on a couple weeks ago in a Cover Your Assets episode. And then we also have, I also put up the campaign primer for my upcoming full campaign, which is going to follow this fill-in campaign once Danny reaches a stopping point. Not that I'm rushing you, dear. But got a lot of world building that has gone into it. Looking forward to it, and I'm hoping you guys will come along for that ride as well, because it's going to be a lot of fun. So, I will turn it over to Danny.
Hello, everybody. I have a whole lot of nervous energy today for some strange reason, so if I get really squirrely for a second, I apologize in advance. So we had a whole lot of not me's happening for recaps, trying to decide if thank you.
Hooray!
Oh, also there have been some asides that have happened, and over the weekend I did not have enough time to write up short stories for them. But hopefully in this next week there will be a couple of extra asides posted in the Discord for a little bit of extra behind the scenes stories with the PCs. So hopefully that's something that you can look forward to before the next go round. Is anyone brave enough to attempt? Or shall I attempt?
The thing is, I legitimately don't remember anymore.
I'm on drugs.
He is on drugs.
Yeah, he's
Can't
on
attest.
drugs.
How about you? You've never done it before.
That's true. You almost never do recaps.
He has done it at least once.
I might be
I'll
able to
give you
fill
that.
in some
How
of
did
the
we
gaps.
start?
That's always my
Leaving the twisted tree.
The tree that was a portal that we found out later.
Yes. That you were perturbed, that, the whole door that was
Okay,
unguarded
okay.
thing. Yeah, uh-huh.
So, what I remember is we were walking to nowhere. And we went past this tree and we found 2 sets of tracks. One on the road, one off the road.
Yes.
Yep. And we followed those tracks until we arrived at nowhere. And along the way we ran into people.
2 lost boys, and somebody carried on a stick.
Right. Their new mother,
And Lord Bobbles.
Lord Boggleston.
Boggleston. Yep.
Who is one of the best characters of this campaign.
Easily.
Who now has my slime armor.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
right.
Indeed.
He's
So
adorable, Lord
we
Bobbington.
arrived in the town of Nowhere with an extra 4 NPCs on top of the others we already carry around with us. Arriving there was a magic shop that we spent far too long at.
As we do in magic shops.
That's what you do.
I honestly don't remember what anyone else did at the magic shop. I'm sure you all did important things. All I really remember is Elaine and Janice had an argument about slime armor that Janice won.
She
Because-
looks like she remembers that differently.
She didn't remember at all.
That's true.
You got far
I
more
stole all the
slimed
soap.
than I did.
I stole all your soap.
Yes,
Yes.
That's what I'm gonna. Take away
I
from
can
that.
add in a couple of things there. Henry rather, set up some sort of a deal with the owner, so that we were basically working.
I built
Right.
2 houses.
Built 2 houses.
Yes. Well, the rest of you, for the most
Right.
part, did nothing. You did build a barn, I'll give you that.
Yes, you and the Tweedles built a barn. A good old-fashioned barn.
Yeah.
And everyone else just kind of twiddled
And
their
the Tweedle
thumbs.
built a
wall.
Tweedled their thumbs.
Let's see. We also set up a plan that hopefully by the morrow, Melbane should have hands that work
Oh, right.
via the use of an engraved mage hand spell.
Yep.
There was a
Um,
gaggle of people with pitchforks that tried to come
Kill
after
him.
Malbane, and
Right.
you guys kept him safe.
Right.
And then
Because he destroyed the town in the first place.
Claudius
That would
decided.
have worked out bad in their favor because I just summoned an air elemental at that point.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna go build a house now.
Henry was super industrious. Claudius decided he was actually going to start sleeping again.
You're welcome.
We cast non-detection over the house you're sleeping in.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right, and then you-
I built a
Henry's
house as
choosing
well.
not to sleep, and I'm sitting outside Elaine
I
and Melbane's
rebought the
room,
potion of vitality.
waiting for dream stuff to happen.
You're gonna try
And-
to like sneak into our
Yes,
dream.
and
Right.
Janice tried food for the first time.
Yeah, I got him to try food.
And then I worked on a house as well, and that's where Chipper is staying.
Yes.
Wow, so in short, not a lot important
Are we
happened
staying
last
here for
time.
But a
2 days?
lot.
The
There
plot
was
was
a
not
lot.
moved forward.
There was a lot of interesting stuff that happened on the in-betweens that is going to be very meaningful, although, yeah, on surface, it does
Not
not
a-
seem that
nothing-
you
nothing
progressed
effective
very
happened.
far.
But we had fun.
Yes.
So much fun.
And that is the important thing. Slime Armor did play a very, very
So
large
we're clear,
part.
we're here for 2 days? We're here for another
Oh, right, we have
24
to-
hours?
What's the matter? You don't want to head out with just 3rd level spells?
No.
Yeah, we're
Funny
basically
how that
here for
works.
another day.
Right.
Because we have to
And
wait
that
for Melbane.
means-
Well, I ordered armor and
I
we
can
ordered
finish
Melbane's
my
house.
project and go to sleep.
Yes, although you won't be
Okay.
finished with it just yet. It is still nighttime. Because if you recall, there were that had some hefty hourage in it. You will get a long rest before you
Well, I
leave.
assumed after the night we're spending another day.
Yes, correct. So you will have
So,
enough time
By
to have
by the
balance.
end of the night of the coming day, yes, I will be done and then I could rest.
Everybody's doing math now. So, I would like to start with you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Why me? Why
because
me?
because you were doing something in the middle of the night where most
Oh,
people
right.
were sleeping.
Mhm.
So, anyone who thinks that they might be especially astute overnight from the other house, if you would like to roll a perception check, you may.
I think you already had me roll that
Oh,
one.
okay, never mind.
It didn't
and
go
I
so
saw
well.
the stuff being given
Yes,
to.
yes. So, you saw Colin kind of ferrying things back and forth to the house. So Colin comes in
Okay. Hi.
for the first time. He kind of knocks upon the door. He's got this like large arm full of various metal pieces and whatnot that the smith has made. The way I figure it, I can probably get all of the higher level enchantments done if you can, and he hands out this list, like, understanding that you are a certain type of mage that has some ability. If you can follow these directions, then I believe that we can expedite this process and get you on your way in the next couple of days.
Okay.
There is an element of agreeability that must be struck between you and this entity that you wish. But with that, there is also an element of luck.
Luckily, I have fortune's favor.
Indeed.
He's making a sword so he can talk to his own sword.
If something is to go incorrectly, though, they will simply, by happenstance, go back to where they came from unless there is something else
Right.
that would interfere.
Oh, dear.
This is going to end so well.
Of course.
Yep.
Both houses you just built are gonna get torn down.
I believe I could probably make 3 trips this evening, and if you could bring them back to me afterwards, we can begin to piece this together.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana, and let's just kind of test and see how well you're able to produce or replicate the
Of
enchantments.
course, fortune's favor.
Go for it.
Whew.
That good.
Arcana?
Yes. Or if you can make a good argument for something else, that'd also be fine.
27.
Oh, yeah. You enchant the hell out of that stuff.
Ooh, it was it was
It was
ex-
cursed!
I can't. What's the word I want?
Poor Claudius.
Devil be gone. It was an
Exorcism.
Exorcism. The word was stuck.
You are very successful, and you feel
That
very,
helped.
very good with your work.
Mhm.
Somewhere about midway through the night, he does make 3 different trips back and forth. You can tell the longer it goes into the night, like every trip that he comes back, he gets a little more tired. He's kind of pathetic
I'm
at the
just
moment.
perky.
Yep, you're just happy as can be. About halfway through the night, you hear this very slow. This is a different thing. If you would like to, you may roll. You don't have to.
I don't think so. I'm asleep against the door of my
Okay.
house.
I wasn't sure if you were trying to like kind of be passively listening or anything like that.
A knock at the door?
Yeah, a very slow, deliberate knock.
Okay.
I've seen this movie before.
It's
You
a
should not
vampire.
open that door.
If you let him in,
Well, no, I have to say I have to let him in. I open the door.
You've seen this person before in passing. There is a very large, one would say giant, purple woman standing outside the door.
What?
She's
are you doing?
bald,
she was the innkeeper,
librarian.
librarian.
Or you assume she was in the library last time you saw her.
What library? What library?
There was a library.
The library, apparently.
Yes, it was discussed, but we might have forgotten that.
No, I do. I remember.
She is
Remind me.
she's in golden robes with like lavender brocade, and her head is shaved. Really beautiful, gigantic woman.
Okay. I have no idea.
Take me to your ladder. I'll meet your leader later.
Yeah, try to say that 7 times fast. Why don't you?
You're on frogs.
Hello, can I help you?
You
He's
are
better
the
when he's not
one
sober.
that they call Henry, correct? Her lips aren't moving.
Yes.
I have received word that I am to give you something from your kind.
So, give me a second. What are you doing? I honestly have no idea what this is about. Okay.
You are unaware of this.
Yes. Very.
I was told that your gate was closed. You entered from a place that was not for you.
Hit the immediate gate, Janice.
This is customs and
This may have caused some confusion.
you have any magical items you'd like to declare?
Plants.
I am unsure what you mean.
I might have expected that. You have people who are very invested in your well-being, looking down on you.
Okay.
Like looking down from heaven, or like looking down because you're like on the bottom of their boot?
Or because whatever this topsy-turvy world is hell up?
That is hell up. Not at all. This is... There are a people who keep order and cultivate order from the chaos. You have all the earmarks of these people.
I don't have ears.
That's the first earmark.
Indeed. She brings out this like big tome that is just a huge freaking book. It's an interesting thing. You see on the front of this book there are all of these fascinating like gears and all of that, and it seems locked around the edges by all of these mechanisms. I am certain that you will find a way to open this, but in it you will find information that those above see fit and find necessary for the completion of your current task.
All right. Is this a clock manual?
She looks at you kind of confusedly. Not precisely, but not... You're not
Untrue.
exactly wrong either.
Oh.
This contains information about where you were meant to come in. The path that your comrade Melbane usually enters through the castle, usually enters into the castle in the mountain, will not be accessible to him. He will not be familiar with some things that are necessary.
See that? I have the VIP entrance. Anyway.
It will still not be an easy passage, but you might know the way better than him, seeing as he has never had to enter with his feet before.
I will grab the book. What? Yeah, I was like...
As you develop questions in your reading, I am the one person who might have some of the answers to them. But we must also be careful in how we speak, as many ears that listen in this place right now would not necessarily mean well to your group's cause.
And 20 feet away, behind a door, you hear Claudia snoring.
The book's called A Foreigner's Guide to Wonderland.
Ooh, a signed copy. Thank you.
You are welcome. She kind of steps back. I can be found at the library should you need me.
All right.
and she just it's a little bit of a
Click.
chicken, chicken, chicken. All the locks.
I will
Are we still up?
put
Okay.
this in a safe place for the moment and continue my work, pondering on the complexities of what I was just told.
I'm just gonna leave that there for now.
So while you are busy about your
Uh-huh.
your job there, I would like you to roll me wisdom saves.
This is what happens when you don't come and get the word. Fine.
24.
Okay.
17.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that.
18.
still gonna be a fail, but
Damn.
I'm curious to see how this plays out because of you. So where is
I
my?
just like to imagine as he's like opening the dream door and closing it, I like get my foot in right behind him.
I enjoy this thought. So, as you are meditating deeply, you feel a presence in the back of your mind starting to tug at threads. There doesn't seem to be a lot of give. So you begin to kind of go a layer deeper than your own dreams.
Mhm.
And as that tugging occurs, you feel that it's also expanding through the three of you, almost like this triangular web that's all
Okay.
being pulled at the same time. You see briefly into Melbane's mind. He seems to be fighting off the urge to go into the darkness himself, but the landscape around his mind is terrifying. You see, as he imagines himself ripping the fabric of Neverwonderland apart. But you also feel this connection with his mind that allows you to understand that he is aware that this is a dream, and he is distancing himself from the root of that dream. Elaine, on the other hand, as you lay sleeping, you begin to kind of like work your way through that web over to her brain. You see, she wakes in a room of roses, all painted to look like the sky. And across the room from her sits your salt and pepper-haired friend again, just waiting for her to wake. When she does, yeah, right? When she does, he greets her. Good morning. I've come with some information that I feel like you would find valuable. And I find that it might perhaps influence some of your choices. Perhaps give you a different perspective on matters. The ring you wear, the one you were given today, do you find it suspicious that it bears a very interesting connection to you?
I think lots of people fancy roses.
But it kind of seems as though this piece chose you specifically. Even the man in the shop knew. And you being able to see this, you can step in when you desire to.
Just come behind him and just slit his throat.
Would it work?
He's sitting in the corner. What if I were to tell you that this freedom that I'm fighting for within the communities here in the Neverwonder are the very things that would have allowed your parents to stay by your side.
Okay, pause real quick.
Mhm.
When we fail the wisdom save, does that just mean that he gets into our dreams, or that we're more susceptible to what he's saying?
You're more susceptible to what he's
I couldn't
saying.
remember. Okay, continue. Sorry.
You see, I have it on very good authority that you are connected to this great forgetting. This thing that has plagued the minds of the locals. Whereas, if free passage existed from one world to the other, your parents would still be with you. And I feel as though that one inciting event that ripped the memories from all of these poor souls never would have happened. Have you been informed yet that there's an entire people here with eyes the shade of that rose? That shift colors with the sky?
Why are you telling me this?
Because I think that some of the things that we both want aren't that dissimilar.
Because I'm your daddy.
I can keep you real quick.
I have information about who your parents really are. And one of them is still alive. Of course, I could help you. It would take some effort, but I believe that we could restore him, and that you and he would be able to move freely into whichever world you prefer. Wouldn't that be a happy reunion? He kind of sits back in
I'm
his
gonna
chair.
step in at this point, and so just from behind you, from like the other side of the room, I think that would depend on the cost.
Janice!
Janice does not look the same.
What? What?
Janice looks
So
like
Janice is in a gray cloak with the hood pulled up, and instead of his usual staff, he has like a shepherd's crook with a lantern hanging on the edge, and he just looks like a really old man with a big gray beard.
The hell are you?
Can
Willy
she...
Wonka.
Like, are you inserting yourself with the intent that she knows that you are Janice? Okay, so
Yes.
you know that he is Janice.
Oh, I know
welcome,
you know.
welcome to Dream Logic. You know that I'm Janice.
Yes.
Okay,
Rip
back to
Van
my
Winkle.
first exclamation. Janice!
What the hell are you doing here?
Is that the question of
What
how
are you
or
doing?
why?
I am having a discussion with a friend. I have
And
mutual interests.
I have a mutual interest in this discussion as well, so I find myself here.
Roll me a wisdom save with advantage.
By me?
Yeah.
There's just a look of relief on my face. Hold on. Oh, that's not.
The maths.
All the math.
Unnatural 20? 21, actually. Sorry, it's
Okay.
21.
I had in my brain it was above a 20. So good job. Just by the hair of your chinny chin chin.
The remembering of what she can actually do.
As you take a second look at your character sheet.
Yes.
I have updated all of the numbers except for the ones in the saves, apparently.
Nice.
You still feel this like pull of temptation, but with Janice there kind of devil's advocating angels advocating. I don't really know what you call that. You start to piece back together that you are being manipulated. I have something that I can offer her.
Yes, I gathered that.
Yes. And at what cost? What cost have we already seen?
We've seen what your help does.
And I've defeated all of them.
We have all of your help in jars.
That better help.
If you're not careful, you might end up in a jar.
Oh, guys, let's put him in a jar.
And then fill the jar with mayonnaise. And then light that mayonnaise on fire.
My
I
little
saw a
instruments
twinge
of
of
chaos.
pain there just for a moment.
Not my game, not my game.
Poor Keith just had Mayo PTSD.
Sorry.
What a terrible thing to get PTSD by Mayo in a D&D game.
You know you will never find one of those jars again, right?
In your game.
Yep.
It's okay. We'll make one.
Oh, I forgot what you're doing.
Anyway.
All I would really ask would be for
Sure.
an allegiance of sorts. That you help those in places that need to be helped. You can guard, that's what
So-
you do best.
Really, this is not about freedom, then, because if this truly was about the freedom to go wherever they wished, then you would not attach a cost to helping these poor souls, as you put it.
Well, I certainly don't want to help and then have you intentionally sabotage what we're striving for.
So, this isn't
Stop
about
saying
freedom,
we.
then.
Stop saying we, please.
Otherwise, you're gonna end up as a saint too.
Saint Elaine.
Returner of parents. Oh.
Or finder of parents.
I see and understand your hesitations. For now, I will leave you
Oh, leaving so soon.
with the knowledge that I can give you this information and the beat of a heart should you choose to not oppose me.
For a man who talks about the freedom to choose what we want to do, you sure don't want to give us the freedom to make our own choices. You seem to need to attach a cost to everything we do.
Collateral damage exists when goals are this hardy. But I believe that the ends will more than justify the means. And when those ends are achieved, I believe that you will all come to see things my way.
I don't want to find my parents at the cost of an entire land here.
What is it that you think that I'm doing to this land here?
Killing people.
Are you so positive about that?
Yes. I'm pretty certain about this.
As I have seen the dead bodies, I'm gonna go with yes.
I have an interesting suspicion that the things you see along your path upcoming may perhaps sway your perspective.
Glasses. I need to get you prescription glasses.
I know it's much easier to make me a villain, but perhaps you'll see at some point that I am not the villain you make of me. He kind of leans back in his chair, and as he leans back, he just kind of like disappears into the background.
I'm gonna run over and give Janice a huge hug.
Janice is just like,
What is this? What is this? What is this?
I like him.
don't know what that was.
It was. Thank you.
Then you're welcome. Then you're welcome.
I won't hug you again if you prefer. Why do you look like this?
Like what?
You have a very long gray beard.
Janice looks down and is like, I do.
I'm not saying it's a bad look, just caught me off guard.
Puberty, man.
Old man through puberty doesn't like it. Also, somehow or another, I don't have chips over here. So
Right there on top of your pencil case.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, I'm saving that for later.
I am not sure why I look this way.
Well, did we just wake up now? Did he get into Melbane's head?
No. Well,
No,
Yes,
being
but no.
smarter than that.
not in the same way he gets into yours.
So you're still sitting outside my room.
Yep.
Okay.
Do I hear creaking bed noises?
That means one of them's not sleeping.
Oh, that just got weird.
Now it got
And
weird.
on that note, I would like to say consent is key.
Thank you.
And I have 3 of the keys so far.
Oi! So consent's the last one you
Yep.
needed. Mazel tov.
So you've consented? Never mind.
Nope. It's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down.
I got super weird and really curry.
Sorry.
Just
Well,
no.
Again, thank you. He was making some very good points in my head.
You feel this jerk to wakefulness as Melbane tosses and you catch this. It's not a hard flail or anything like that, but you can tell that he's actively having a nightmare and kind of rolls to guard against something and kind of gets you sort of in the rib cage a little bit. Not a
With a hook.
yeah. By no means is it like something that would cause you damage, but he stirs you
Melbane
awake.
stabs you between the ribs.
He stirs you awake, and there's just this beautiful blonde man next to you in just this flop sweat, and trying hard to fend off something in his sleep.
I'll kind of like cuddle into him and hope that helps calm him down.
Can I still go into Melbane's dream? If I want
Yes.
to. I'm going to do that then, since Elaine's is apparently over.
As you kind of step into his dream, you can see him actively trying to, like, he is reaching for threads, and when I say the fabric of Neverwonder is like being ripped apart, in his brain that's very literal, and with it, people on the edges of the places that are being frayed and torn apart are being frayed with it. And he is reaching out, trying to grasp for the fraying edges and try to keep them together. At the same time as casting these massive spells. You can see like he's got his normal hands.
He has his hands.
And if this is any indication of how powerful he usually is, he would be a massive beast.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is casting these gigantic spells all over the place, but none of them seem to actually be doing the trick. And you can hear these whispers trying to get into his head, but he's not letting them. They are trying to sway him to pretty much, like, if you join me, you can fix this, sort of a thing. You kind of poof it behind him.
Interesting redecoration.
He hears this and, like, turns around.
Fireball.
How did you get here?
I proverbially stuck my foot in the door.
It's good to have a gatekeeper. We said you were the only one in that guild before, correct?
Yep.
I vote we make a change to that sometime in the near future. He kind of begins to, as he's pulling in one side of this person who looks kind of like a gnome, like he's trying to pull these pieces of this person together. You can see the dawning realization on his face that it's like, this is a dream. This is something that I don't have to deal with. And he kind of lets it go. And as he lets go, like, all of the things in the periphery begin to kind of Thanos. It just kind of fades into...
Mushroom Man says, I don't feel so good.
Yes. It cornflakes out of existence, and you just kind of end up in a black, almost like a sound studio sort of a thing. Just blank slate.
As the green screen is ripped down.
Yes.
Cornflakes out of existence.
Yeah.
Just crumbles into a bowl of cornflakes.
Do what I can for you.
That's a good line.
Delicious.
He looks to you.
Healthy part of morning breakfast.
Thank you. However you got your foot in the door. I thank you. I feel as though I should wake now.
That's... Is it customary to say thank you by wrapping yourself around someone?
He looks at you very strangely.
Weird way of saying hug.
I mean, if that's your cultural understanding, I'll oblige, but...
And of all the people to ask this question,
I am unfamiliar with it, but I believe that is Elaine's custom.
Now you know every time you think of it.
The more you know.
He walks over to you and, like...
So this time, instead of confusedly, I'm just going...
But you didn't completely clarify how this was
No,
supposed
no,
to
I
work.
did
So
not.
he kind of wraps his upper body around one side of your waist and tries to like Cirque du Soleil into a donut around you. Let's see if Dream Melbane is successful with this. Yes, he is. You now have like a Melbane-shaped hula hoop.
You are welcome.
That was odd. He unwraps himself.
That is what I thought when Elaine did this.
I'll have to have her elaborate on why this is customary for her. It does explain a lot of things that I feel like I now need clarification about.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm suddenly a little confused about where I stand if this is the customary... I just don't know.
he's questioning every hug I've ever given.
For every cuddle.
He
This
unravels
is my
like,
culture.
I'm going to wake now. and he wakes
What
up
the
and kind of
crap?
bolts a little bit.
Not
Now-
sure if it's better having Burgess or Janice in your dreams.
Definitely Janice. If nothing else, it's a lot funnier.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, do I not get a visit while I'm into my own dreams?
He was not able to pry
Oh,
into
okay.
yours.
All
So
right,
You cut him off at the
like,
pass.
yeah, he.
I just wondered if he'd given up.
You
his
basically
plan.
Right,
jumped
and it ended
through
up
it.
as a recursion with lots of feedback.
With yours, you kind of get the impression he started like knocking on the door, and if nobody really completely is willing
Nobody's
to
home.
answer, then he's just like, this one's too much trouble. So he passes by on that one. So Melbane wakes next to you and kind of bolts upright. Now not so much fighting off anything, but just looking incredibly confused. Did Janice visit you in your dream?
Yes. Thank heaven that he did.
I'm curious, the wrapping around someone as a gesture of thanks. Explain the cultural significance to me.
Thank you.
A hug?
A hug. Oh, that was not what he said. Huh.
There are a
I-
lot of things Janice doesn't view.
he stepped into my dream while I don't know his name, but the person who's been plaguing all of our dreams and trying to convince us to join him, the one who I'm assuming was part of your
Yes.
captivation.
Forgot I don't have fingers.
He got into my head and he was making some very sound points, and I started listening to what he was saying, and then Janice popped in and helped me get my head back on straight and realize that I was being manipulated. I was very grateful, so I gave him a hug, and I'm not sure he has ever had a hug.
Oh, that explains a lot.
What did he say? I'm assuming he popped into your head?
Yes, he was very helpful in me breaking from my nightmare. However, he did explain it as your ritual for thanks being to wrap yourself around one. So, I attempted this successfully. However, it looked a little different than it probably should have.
So you, let me just make sure I understand this.
We
of course.
can just forget that this ever happened.
No. So you wrapped yourself around Janice.
Yes.
I think you might need practice.
I think you should show me.
That was subtle.
I'm quite curious. Should I be concerned?
Oh.
19. He does it. He looks at you like, don't hate me, don't hate me, don't hate me, and wraps himself around your waist like a hula hoop.
At this point, I'm dying. I am crying. I'm laughing so hard.
Are you all right? I'm so sorry.
This is just the funniest thing that
Oh,
I've heard in a really long time.
can we please not mention this to the
Yes,
others?
I won't say anything.
Thank you.
I don't know if Janice understands, though. That may take some explaining.
Would you mind taking that one? Thank you. I appreciate it. I'd rather perhaps just ignore that ever happened.
Don't worry. I'm sorry that there was a misunderstanding.
Me too. we're going to cut away from that for a moment. Emmy, where would you have been? Would you have been with, you might have been with Claudius, and then there was plenty of room in that house for you and your displacer beast?
Yeah, I probably would have found a
Okay.
quiet corner to.
And the house does have non-detection.
Yeah, so I probably would have found a spot there for me and Silesia.
There's 2 boys, Claudius and Chipper,
And Lord Boggleson.
and Lord Boggleson asleep
In
by the
slime
blaze.
armor.
Yep.
Yep, in slime armor.
He's just in a puddle.
Air hockey deal.
Gross.
So you wake Claudius with the morning.
He's waxing the
There's
floor.
probably the last trip that Colin makes to him kind of stirs you awake, and it's getting to be
The
dawn.
door hits me.
He wouldn't have been moving the door or anything like
Oh,
that,
okay.
but you'd have heard from outside since the homes are next door to each other. The opening and closing of the door, and it's dawn, so between that and the light coming in through the window, you stir awake, and there is a cat happily sleeping in the corner next to her displacer beast. The boys look like teenage boys asleep. Like one of them is younger, but still like draped in the most like teenage of ways.
They're like wrapped in their blankets,
Yeah, like
limbs sticking out.
yeah,
on
limbs
angles.
sticking out on all sides. Chipper is like gently snoring, and this little piece of hair is going. And Lord Boggleson is just like making these little. It's like a dog chasing something in its sleep almost.
So since he's got the slime to like provide that frictionless floor, is he like actually getting to spin in his sleep, or is it just up in the air?
Yeah, he probably actually would be spinning a little bit in his sleep. He's got some interesting Johnny Be Good moves happening.
So I'll step over to Emmy and sort of just like pull her blanket a little bit up and sort of tuck her in a little bit. Oh, well, so much for that.
Making biscuits.
Claws popping in and out, and great big cat yawn.
Oh, do you do the like the back arch thing?
Yeah,
Where they're like
back arch. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. I feel like I've been asleep for days.
I'm glad. That's a good thing, right?
In this case, yes.
Good. Good. Well, good morning, and I suppose I'll start breakfast.
The smell of, well, I guess roll me a something check. Performance? Survival? I'll take either.
I guess.
Neither of those are
There might be a
particularly good. Let's see.
It could be a hearth, you know.
Actually, survival is
Yes.
+5. So that'd be a 23.
Oh, that's not too shabby. So there is a hearth.
There is a hearth.
Okay.
More for the
Hearth,
safety
good.
of the building.
I was just wondering, I was like, does Claudius just like go build a fire in the middle of the floor? Like,
Probably would have, but there is a hearth. It has been decided by the builder. Yeah, you cook up a really pretty nice meal out of what you've got available to you. What do you have available to you? What would you?
I mean, we mostly have rations, but I'll try to like supplement with, if I don't have other things, I'll probably go purchase a small amount of meat and things.
Yeah. There's meat and eggs and stuff like that available.
Sausages specifically.
Sausages.
And just like a full link for Emmy.
Awesome. The smell from next door actually kind of gets your attention. I was about to say stirs you awake, but you're not asleep, so
True.
yeah, you just
I don't smell.
Oh, never mind then. The sound of the sizzle catches your attention.
Now, do I need part 2 of this project now?
When you say part 2, like...
The thing that I need in the other house.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, while I assume he's getting food, I will quickly go and grab it.
You're not gonna ask him first?
No.
Oh dear, okay, this should be
could
interesting.
only go well.
Huh. This should be really interesting.
Hello, how was your night's sleep?
Actually, really good.
Isn't that the first time you've slept in the last couple of days?
No, it's.
Oh, you did sleep on the boat. That's
yeah.
right.
At this point, you might notice that Claudius looks a little different. His nose isn't quite as pronounced, and his horns are like 2 inches shorter than they were the night before.
Okay.
No, I actually slept very well, thank you. But what would you like? And I'll just keep working. Eggs, sausage.
Are you going to get those stuff from the town?
Oh, I assume I already had, but if you.
I'm
woke up to
catching
my
you.
sizzling-
I'm catching you just as you're leaving.
Oh, okay. Yes, actually, I was gonna step in and go.
Some apples wouldn't be terrible.
Certainly.
I can.
Yeah, I will gather some apples. Do you want them in anything particularly, or?
No, I think I can figure something out.
All right. On my way into town, then I'm going to work on a little piece that I'm going to try to trade for food.
What equipment do you have with you? This is important.
Probably my Dungeoneer's pack. I've got the pixie incense. I've got the bag of holding.
You can make a rope doll.
I've got my dirk, and probably my glaive because the sword is still with
Odds one.
tools. I think actually.
Oh yeah, it would be with tools. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you go forward and go into the markets. Yeah. So you go in
Mhm.
and Tools and Oddswan are Tools and Oddswan are sleeping. Let me roll something for Chipper.
Sure.
You have not started cooking yet, though.
No, because I'm going in to
Okay.
get stuff at this
So
point.
yeah, it makes sense that she would still be asleep, but you are awake.
Yep.
Okay.
I see Emmy is awake. Emmy, good morning.
Good
And
morning.
I will use my conjuration ability to conjure an exact replica of the sword,
Oh dear.
and I will swap it. And I'm not trying to hide this from Emmy, but I'm trying to just like gently replace it with the one on the floor. Would you like to come see?
Yes.
Curiosity
Yes.
killed the cat or something.
Come along, Celestia.
And I will have the sword, and I will close it behind me while we go into the house to the side. So what you see as we go inside is there is a table laid out, and on that table is a suit of armor.
You've been busy.
Uh-huh. If I were human, I would be able to show that I am very tired. And I'm just a blank face at the moment. So
Just takes some grease and does this under his eyes.
I'm tired.
I'm extremely tired, but as tired as a clock could get. It's a weird phenomenon.
You're run down.
Yes.
You need a wind up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to walk around behind you and look
Okay.
for like a little wind up key.
I wish it were that simple.
Well, we have all these clocks back home that just take a little bit of a winding to get them running again.
Of course. Anyway, I'm planning on moving the souls of the children into this armor.
I have two questions. Actually, one question,
Why, two, how?
one observation.
Okay.
One question, why?
Okay.
And the observation, I assume you have not spoken to Claudius about this.
I was going to have a surprise.
Would I need to?
But I need to. I'm the leader. I get to make the decisions.
Oh dear.
I mean,
He is the leader.
that's some sound logic right there.
So that
So
answers
back
your
to
second
the
question. So back to the first
why.
question. Well, I think it would be much easier to discuss or educate something that I can actually see and can see back. I'm not sure how the principles of the sword work, but if there's at least a suit of armor that can interact and have more of a interactability with the world, I think would be a lot better than just being looking through a window.
If you had a heart, it would be in the right place.
If you
But-
only had a brain.
I can't help but think, dear. Yeah. Yeah. I can't help but think, dear, that you're playing with powers that we don't fully understand.
I understand
Powers
it.
beyond your comprehension.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
All the powers of the universe.
Would
Okay.
you like to describe the armor as it's taking shape?
Sure.
Do you want me to pull up a picture from?
From what?
Never mind. Keep going.
I think it would be a little less complex than that. So it's simpler. I'm basically making Alphonse.
Alphonse?
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Just simpled, not like heavy armor, but maybe like scale mail or
Okay.
something like that. And then in between the joints and all that is like leather pieces.
Okay.
How big?
mean, are we talking full human size?
We're talking-
or like teenager size?
Let's say
Adolescent.
teenager, maybe like a foot above what the average Lost Boy size would be.
Okay.
If we get to make them a new body, we
Childish.
might as well make them taller than usual.
Easier to find in crowds.
Well, all right. I
Valid.
don't say I didn't voice my concerns, but carry on.
Okay, and I will continue.
I'm gonna find a spot in the corner of the room.
I'm just imagining everyone else in town is hearing the hammering and sawing.
Celestia?
You might want to close your eyes.
Welding. Right.
So,
So I'm gonna be playing with my displacer beast in the corner.
We're gonna get the souls into a jar, and we're gonna go to install the jar into the body, and your cat is just gonna come up and go.
No. I'm gonna come up and go.
Those are kids!
and
They were.
you three, when I say three, I'm including Malbane in that. You three wake up to the smell of breakfast being cooked downstairs too. So the same time that you guys are all kind of waking from your various dreams and whatnot, it is about time like life is coming back to the inn and all of that. So you can either go downstairs and eat if you would like. Melbane still has no hands, so he's probably not going to join you immediately. But
He'll need to be
yeah,
fed.
I can go get breakfast.
bring it back.
Fed and
Yeah.
watered and.
I.
You haven't watered your building today.
What do you
Bad.
feed boyfriends?
Water. Bathed.
And we'll discuss that. I'll tell him I'll go get. Brett, what are you doing?
Okay, Google. What do you feed boyfriends?
What did I feed you?
Cheetos.
Oh,
and
come
Mountain
on.
Dew.
I don't understand.
What do you feed
I think
boyfriends?
Steven runs on a higher level of, like, a higher quality of fuel than pizza and Mountain Dew.
Doritos and a specific flavor of Mountain Dew.
First result. Help! Exclamation point. Have to feed my super skinny boyfriend.
Please continue.
I'm trying to fatten up my boyfriend. My boyfriend without feeding him a lot of junk food. He's 26-year-old, 5'11". Been through the marvels. Okay, sorry.
This is something we should explore further.
Yeah, I'll pull up the actual site and we can look at that later.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Casual characters just added it as a quote.
Yep.
What do you feed, boyfriends?
It's number 74, by the way, in case you want it.
Okay. I'll tell him I'll go get breakfast, and are you still sitting
Yep.
outside the door?
Yep.
So I realized something.
The plate of food you gave him, by the way, there is one bite taken out of each thing on it, and that is all.
It just kind of makes me smile.
So last night when I sort of wrapped my arms around you in the dream, you do remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's called a hug. It's a sign of appreciation.
And it's done one specific way.
And Elaine is actually like having a hard time getting through.
Yes, I gathered that when you told me that it was thank you.
Yes. Melvane also didn't understand. Apparently what he did wasn't a hug.
What is what he did called?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what he
Position from Kama Sutra.
But typically, I'm going to come up and just give him a hug. That's a hug. You wrap your arms around me too. Good job. Okay, you can let go now. But that's a hug. It's a very human thing.
It's a consenting grapple.
not wrong.
Roll
It's a
for hug.
consenting grapple. I love that. Roll for hug.
Okay.
Mm. Checks out.
I will
Checks
choose
out.
to fail my
75.
save for
A
the
hug is a consenting grapple.
But anyway, I feel that I needed to explain, because it didn't really occur to me in the moment that you'd maybe never had a hug before.
Well, thank you for explaining your customs.
And how do you
well.
say thank you?
And also-
with a hug.
You don't always have to hug somebody to say thank you. That was a bit of I was very, very grateful and a little emotional. That was a weird. I'm glad you were there.
Aren't all of your dreams with him not like that?
He was starting to say things that were making sense, and you helped me to remember that they didn't make sense. So, thank you. I'm gonna go get some food. Did you enjoy the food that you tried last night?
Yes, it was very good.
You know you can eat more than one bite of it,
Why would I want to?
because then you can keep tasting it.
But I already know how it tastes.
I mean, things vary with temperature, and some bites have different bits of seasoning on them.
Janice will reach down and pick something up off it.
It tastes different when it's cold.
Nope, not as good cold.
Fascinating.
Well, I'm going to
Thank
go
you,
get.
Spock.
I'm going to go get some breakfast food, which is different from dinner food. Would you like to try some?
Yes.
Okay. So when I go downstairs, I'm going to request 2 regular
Portions. of
portions
things.
and then just an extra plate.
Mhm.
And I'm going to just put small bits of everything onto this other plate, since I'm not sure if he's going to eat all of it.
They are more than happy to accommodate.
Kind of like waitress my way upstairs.
There are now 2 bites taken out of everything that was on that plate. Oh, thank
Try
you.
this.
There are pancakes and scrambled eggs and bacon.
Bit of an egg.
See, the nice thing about food is even if you don't need to eat it necessarily, you can because it tastes good. Or if there's things you don't like, you don't have to eat them. Welcome.
This is the road to an obese Janice. You can eat things just because they taste good, not because you're hungry.
There's this thing called depression eating.
We eat to fulfill unmet emotional needs.
We call this comfort food. You eat this because you're stressed.
Well, Janice will proceed to sit down and take 1 bite out of each of the different kinds of food.
Yep.
And then he will set it on the ground and wait.
So yeah, you have your breakfast in bed, and then we're being back over to you guys. Let me.
The people who are actually doing things that are effective.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I taught Janice about food.
So
True.
you get back, and the boys stir when you come in. Upon cooking, Chipper's eyes. I smell snacks. I smell snacks, and it smells good.
Good morning, Mother Chipper.
Good morning, Mother Claudius. she kind of.
Yeah, we were all mothers now.
Yep.
I'm the leader of a pack of mothers.
Odds.
I'd like to take that back. I'd like to take that back, please. Please.
Oddswan gives a big stretch and like smacks Tools in the chest, and he like, okay, I'm getting up. They both kind of start working their way in an upward direction. You cook too?
Wait, what was that?
Most mothers do.
Consternation?
Read the top one.
Huh.
What is this?
A group of mothers is called a consternation.
I
that what we're called now? The
know
party
how
of
to
It was a
consternation.
party of consternation.
Huh.
This- you
That's
know,
a
you didn't
party
have
name
a
now.
gaggle name yet. I feel like the consternation is as good as any.
I don't know
We
how
have
to
the
feel about that.
consternation.
Quick, call in the consternation.
Dun, da, da.
I love it.
George. So yes, Chipper gets up and kind of starts to help you out. Tools reaches over and grabs for the sword to hand it to Oddswan. It doesn't really think very much about it. Oddswan kind of sits with it for a second. Hey, Claudius,
Yes,
are you doing the thing?
I'm cooking. Yeah.
No, but can you usually talk to the sword when you're cooking?
Yeah.
Yep.
Henry? Go ahead and roll me your Arcana.
You hear from the other house, help with the child
Sword napped. It's a sword napping.
24.
Swords
Okay.
don't nap.
That's called a theft.
It's strangely quiet.
Your mother senses are tingling.
I usually have a gaggle of kids in my head.
That's dangerous.
As we learned earlier.
Yeah, it was real quiet when our daughter decided to bite into a Baby Bell cheese through the plastic
plastic.
and
Through the netting.
the netting.
Threw the plastic and ate some of the wax.
Yeah.
She
that
really
kid
wanted
from-
that cheese.
The funds of
From
parenthood.
that kid from Lemony Snicket. She's like,
And that was the thing, is we realized, like, it's really quiet back there.
there's an issue here.
It's
Yeah,
quiet.
there's
Quiet.
that feeling of
Clown.
dread.
With
Oh.
kids,
Clever girl.
quiet is trouble.
I'm gonna go pick up the sword. Does it feel any different?
It is probably a lot lighter than you believe.
Yes.
Because it is only like 5 pounds. Because I only know what it looks like. I have not, does not know the weight.
You might, though, because you did, not detect magic, but identify on it.
But yes, but it was on the ground, which you set place. So I do not know what
This
the weight
is
of
the,
this
it's the
thing
thing
is.
where you weigh down someone's like their headset or
Stapler.
something.
It feels
I
different.
can only make things that are only like 5 pounds or something like that.
This is not a sword.
I don't know what Claudius would do.
Wake up! Wake up!
Performing percussive maintenance.
Now, here is a question, DM. We have established before that I can continually make a thing active, but do I need to be next to it to do that, or touch it at least? To ensure that the conjuration of an object continues? Because if not, that thing will only last for an hour.
Oh. You would have to be close enough to it to keep it up, yeah. I forgot that there was a time limit on that.
Okay, well, when an hour passes...
So probably around the time.
Or let's say
Claudius
around
is
this
swinging the
time.
sword
Yeah,
around.
of course. For comedic effect, that would be nap.
Yeah.
So does it disappear in like a puff, or does it just like blink and it's gone?
It, for flavor, it deconstructs into tiny clock pieces, falls to the ground, and when it hits the ground, there's
pieces,
tinks.
though.
Yeah, it tinks, and then they just like disappear.
Because my first thought I was gonna go to Janice and be like, "Help, Janice!" But now that I saw the
for,
clocks,
for flavor and his ego, that would absolutely
He
be what
needs a
Henry
calling
does.
card.
I'm gonna pull out my dirk. I'm gonna look at the boys and say, "You should probably wait here. I'll be back in a minute."
Mommy will be back shortly.
Chipper, could you take over?
Would I know that?
She looks at you kind of concerned.
Do I know that the conjuration is now over?
Would you?
I mean, you're
Is
a
that
clock
something
man.
that you
How well do you
feel?
tell time?
Quite well.
Like, do you feel it when a spell ends?
Well, it's not even a spell, it's just an ability.
Oh.
Either way, I would
it's
imagine as a
innate.
clockman, he could tell, like, oh, it has
An
been an
hour
hour.
has elapsed.
Yeah.
I have like an hour, like hourglasses,
Well, and if it's-
like, we're
If
getting
it's an
closer.
innate ability,
You would
feel
think
like-
so.
Yeah, you'd probably know.
probably.
Like something, there's this pit of your stomach, like thing.
I sense a disturbance
Oh
in the
no!
force.
It's the little egg timer that you set on your
You see like a
chest.
little hourglass like on the corner of the table. It has now gone out, and Henry is just like. He just puts it back
Proceeds
into
to
the.
bar the door.
No, he will quickly go to the door, open it, conjure a sign that says "Do not disturb," and then just close the door.
It's gonna work.
So I am
I have
going
no
to
idea.
ask Chipper to take over for cooking. I'm going to take one of the apples from the bag of apples. I'm going to stab it all the way through.
Oh dear.
I'm going to pick up the bag of apples and say, "I'll see you in a minute."
Are you okay? Are you sure you might just like need to leave?
Puts a stick of butter in a sock.
What?
Long story. Don't get her.
All I
Long
heard was
story.
something about a stick of butter in a sock.
That's all there was to that.
Oh, okay.
It's a stick of butter in a sock.
Alrighty then.
Or orange.
Or oranges.
So yep. You
Rolls of pennies.
I'm going to look at the sign. I'm going to grab the sign, pull the sign from its mooring, throw the sign, and kick the door open.
I'm gonna have to rebuild that.
Yes.
It's true.
What are you doing as you're coming through the door?
I just have the apple on my dirk.
Oh, the sign is now gone because they took damage.
I just imagine Henry like invisibility.
I don't have
I'm not
invisibility.
here.
I don't have anything to help me.
Talk.
use your words.
Oh, great leader.
Your apple, and I'm going to walk to the table where you have the armor, and I don't really notice the armor necessarily.
Okay.
I'm going to turn the dirk over and stab it into the
Okay,
table.
no. Give away. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, 2 more inches.
Where is my sword?
Right there.
I'm going to pick
Oh,
up.
no, hold on. I'm not finished with it yet.
What are you doing to my sword?
I'm
Stroking it.
Oh,
Why not rephrase that?
That was absolutely what I meant to say.
I am working on transferring the souls into the armor.
What?
You're
my face hurts.
you're
Ah.
you're doing what?
I am taking the souls from the sword, and I'm putting it into the armor.
I like that you're doing the like when you're explaining something to a stupid person voice.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Let me see it.
Did you ask them?
I haven't yet.
Consent is key.
I know. I haven't got to that part yet.
Nope.
Uh,
Nope.
You can, especially once the door opened, you probably can smell the sausages that I got for you.
You see him, by the way.
No, yeah.
It means just-
I didn't. I
No,
probably
you see
saw
him
him.
invisible as well. With your
Oh,
glasses.
that's true.
It's like
I don't notice any difference then.
it's just an outward expression of your inward discomfort.
I mean, there's a whole thing of sausages I got for you. It's being cooked. I started it. Chipper's finishing it. Mother. Why?
Chipper.
What?
Why?
So I can teach them?
Why not?
I can't teach a sword.
Claudius
But I
is
can
just gonna
teach an
like
armored
sit.
Seeing that
His
things
logic
seem to
is
be,
baffling.
I'm insane.
seeing that things seem to be under control here. I'm gonna reach down and grab one of the tentacles on my cat and lead it out the door.
You think you have the tentacle, but it's not really there.
It takes 2 tries. Claudius, put the apples down.
We're not here.
I know.
Not yet.
And then I'm gonna go for breakfast.
Emmy's like, nope.
Not touching that.
Peace.
So while you guys are doing this, one moment, I have to
Well,
find
we're
this.
continuing to not further the plot.
Like we do.
Like we do.
Like we do. I'm not even sad about this at this point because
This is
I've
pretty
laughed
good.
so hard my
Oh
face
no, this
hurts.
is fantastic.
Let me find.
Also, I want
it.
all of you to know that in response to your a few more inches, Nova said in the chat, a few more inches makes all the difference.
Dungeons and Dragons and Daddies.
Whoa. Oh dear.
Things got real weird in chat for a second too.
I mean, not the first time, won't be the last.
What is this? What is this?
Welcome to our street.
Let me.
We had the consultation.
So, from
With the only one actual father.
Wait, what's a group of fathers called?
A football team. Any sporting event?
Men's recreational basketball.
So I'm gonna try and get this in here. So from the other house where breakfast is being cooked.
Lord Boggleson, would you play drums? Oh, you don't have drums. Just clap then.
I
just
hope you
keep
guys
time.
can hear
Yes,
this okay.
just clap.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 little hedgehogs on a sunny Friday. Oh, 2 little hedgehogs got married today. The cake was sweet and the service was fun, but the best part of weddings is the evening to come. Hedgehog prickers are tiny, but nobody fret. The prickers aren't hard, wink, at least not yet. It's a smart Mrs. Hedgehog.
Oh no, it's off! Keep going!
Bring some defense,
There
so
we
the
go.
honeymoon fun has a chance to commence. It's no secret the pricks of a hedgehog groom can make a shy missus run from the room, but sweet embraces of lovers' soft places make hedgehog weddings the happiest of faces. Hedgehog prickers are tiny, but nobody fret. The prickers aren't hard, wink, at least not yet. Oh, 2 little hedgehogs on a sunny Friday. Oh, 2 little hedgehogs got married today. And that's all. They wouldn't tell me any more of the Lord Boggleson, we're done. They wouldn't tell me any more of the lyrics. So that's all that I have. Give up for Lord Boggleson on the drum, the claps, the clappings.
So yes. That just made me
Chipper, that
so
was
happy.
wonderful.
Okay, I had to turn my volume back down, sorry.
As a side note, according to Reddit, a group of dads is known as a garage.
Okay, I kinda love this.
That's it.
Consternation in a garage.
Why do we have to be a consternation?
Because
I
your
mean,
titles are mothers.
because garage makes so much more sense.
And as the leader, I am
So
the
yes, you
leader of
hear her
consternation.
explaining this awkwardly to like
Motivating consternation.
to these lost boys who are just kind of clapping along, and Lord Boggleson just does not like he doesn't understand the end of songs yet. So
He's the
yeah,
one who's clapping out of key.
yep, he's clapping.
It's like every third off beat.
I like the idea of him clapping out of key more. So yeah, that's going on in the background while you're staring at Henry. this weird, interesting, like conglomeration of experiences all at the same time.
I need to talk. I have to talk to them before you go any further.
Sure.
I'm going to go ahead and set up the connection again.
Okay.
I'll continue my work.
I just imagine as soon as you like get the connection again, you should.
I thought you left. Cassius sounds a little bit panicked.
Nope. And so this is not out loud.
Right.
No, you were just removed from my presence while I was out getting sausages.
I'm sorry, that's just a really great statement. But you're back now.
Yes. My friend Henry had an idea that he could help you guys have some sort of a physical form by putting you into armor instead of a sword.
We would still be able to help you?
Of course.
A lot better.
Is that something you want? If not, I will just kill him and we'll move on.
My, that escalated quickly.
This is the only way he would be able to do it. I am so low on spell slots.
I am the captain now.
I am so low on spell slots, he could kill me.
Do you think it would be helpful?
It very well might be. I'm not 100% sure of the specifics, but it very well might be, yes.
If you think it would be helpful to us and we can still help you, I don't see why not. You can kind of hear this small, quiet discussion going on in the back, between all of the others and yeah, okay, and yeah, I think the others are okay with that. And you hear this, yes.
Have you talked with that voice?
No, it scares us.
Me too.
You can always leave it in there.
I'll be right back. I'm going to break the connection willingly. They are agreeable.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, a little warning might be good.
Okay.
There is, however, something in there.
Could you...
I'll take the apple knife.
Thank you. I was going to cut it with my teeth, but I don't have any.
Fair. Speaking of teeth, I brought you some. I brought you apples.
Don't question the process.
Nope.
His mouth is just a blender.
Where is that quote from?
That was
Oh,
from your
that was
admirer.
oh, right.
The worst part is Brayden knows what he's doing wearing a plaid shirt like that.
The only time I've been flirted with. Interesting.
There is another soul in there, however.
How many souls in total? Because I
There's-
can
there's-
rig it so whoever's talking gets a specific flamed color in the helm.
That's cool.
Oh,
But that's a different thing entirely. I
Um,
can try and leave it behind.
of the children, there's a lot actually.
There are a lot of colors.
That's fair. There's at least 5 or 6 that I speak with on a fairly regular basis. There are more who were maybe too young for speech.
Okay.
But there's one other that scares them. He doesn't speak
Like a bully.
virtually at all.
I know what those are.
Like the dragon.
Oh,
Something akin to that.
You want me to leave it behind?
If you can, yes.
Okay. I will do that.
Thank you.
Just as you're transporting souls, I just imagine you standing there like, no, bad shadow demon, back in the sword, back in the sword.
And I'm just gonna
decoy of a little child. Go after that.
I'm
Go
gonna
quickly, children. This way.
set the bag of apples next to you and pop off the one. Do you want this one still?
Sure.
I'll just drop it in the bag of apples for you.
And I will continue with my work in Montron apples.
Well, that went surprisingly well.
Yeah.
I mean, what was he
Nobody
going to do?
died.
Kill me?
Yes. He was
It was
going
a
to cut you up
possibility.
into little bitty pieces and wear you as a trophy.
It was a possibility.
So back in the other
Turn
house,
me into a wind chime.
the door opens. Displacer beast comes in. The door
3 displacer
closes.
beasts walk through the door.
The door closes behind it.
Is everybody alive? Are they doing okay?
There's just a displacer beast as far as she's concerned.
Oh,
He's
you lost.
invisible.
You lost your cat. Where's
I'm
your?
gonna reach around behind her and pick up the sausage. Start munching on it.
That's a nice trick. I have friends with that trick. I like that trick. Boys, I think you have food now. Yep, they go. So that was a 10. There are some burnt edges here and there. You had gotten off to a great start, but she got kind of distracted with the whole song thing, and
Like you do.
there.
She had to choose between cooking and singing, and
It wasn't. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not as good as it started off being. So yeah, she.
But it's not SARS cooking.
It's not SARS cooking by any means, and it's
think
still
that
better
happened
than what the
twice, and both
Lost
of them were
Boys
like a
end up with
natural
quite
one.
frequently. So yeah, they. Do you head back?
I'm actually gonna reestablish the connection and kind of just let them know that I'm gonna be gone for a little bit so that Henry can do his work.
Okay.
But I will talk to you again really soon.
Okay. So you're not leaving.
No,
Okay.
I will never willingly leave you.
good phrasing.
the key.
I mean, I could die.
The
When
key
you
point
thought you
being
were like,
will.
I will never leave you. I was like, mm-hmm.
Hot dog, egg, and cereal fritters.
Ew.
I mean, because cornflakes, that could be
Oh.
not the
Entire world
frosted
cornflakes.
one. Not the frosted cornflakes, the kind you put on like
Oh, I
potatoes
think
and
I'm-
stuff.
I'm sorry, did you just think that I got confused between frosted flakes
You
and
still-
corn flakes?
You made a face.
Yes, because hot dog, egg, cereal, fritters.
It could happen.
It could be done.
Just because it could be done does not mean it,
It
should
should
be
be
done.
I mean,
Did we learn nothing from Jurassic Park?
well,
Probably not.
Clever girl.
They she serves up the kids, and as you know, not like that, Claudius.
Wow, that turned.
dark real
It's
fast.
not that kind of story.
It's not that far off.
Huh,
Depends on who we run into.
that's fair.
It's just one dice roll away from that story.
You walk back in, and she hands you a plate of hot dog, egg, and cereal fritters. You're not totally sure how it happened, but it did.
I'd like to point out that was not hot dog and egg and cereal. That
No, it
is
was-
hot dog, egg, cereal.
Yes.
There are no ands in that.
Yep.
Making sure we're all on the same page here.
Favorite.
Yep. So yeah.
That's. Thank you.
You're welcome. I got to sing to the boys. They liked it.
I heard you have quite the voice. It was an interesting song.
It's been getting rave reviews at the tavern.
I imagine it would at a tavern. That is the kind of song that they sing at taverns.
It is, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, I learned it at a tavern, so it makes sense.
That does, in fact, make sense.
She kind of goes on about herself. Your friend is invisible in the corner.
Is she?
Are you still-
Oh, right. Glasses.
So when you take the glasses off, there's just this floating sausage every so often.
Well,
a
that's.
little bit
Sausage, huh?
disappears.
I can't.
Floating sausage
Oh,
that's
too easy.
slowly getting smaller.
Giddy.
Oh dear.
Ow.
Yeah, so you guys finish your respective breakfasts and whatnot. You hear kind of from outside the rumble of Tweedle voices as they're and yours, yeah,
Uh-huh.
bunch of 12-year-olds. You hear the Tweedles kind of being like up to town.
I have to say, in my mind, it's not. It's. Bum.
There is definitely an undertone of that to the. They just are very heavy-footed with their walking, so it's a little bit of both. Yeah.
I should give them a 2. Never mind.
Get him a tuba. Just need a tuba bard to just stand behind him and play.
It's been a long day. I'm a little scatterbrained.
It's
a bad
fine.
idea.
It's fine. Um, this massive Tweedle face like sticks its head in through the window. Hello, friends.
Good morning.
Is everyone up and at 'em? Are we leaving today again?
Nope, I think we have some more helping to do. I think there might be more buildings to put up.
We need to build more. Do we need digging?
Do we want to build foundation? I'm gonna look at Emmy. Do we want to build foundations?
I'm just gonna slide over him like a step. And watch as you.
Here, let me, and I'll just look the other direction. Do we want to build foundations?
Foundations for what?
Houses?
Sure.
I'll put the glasses back on and look at, is it dumb? No, it would have to be D.
It would be D, yes.
D, I think we might need to build foundations for houses. Do you know how to do that?
I bet you I can figure it out.
Tell you what, let me make you a quick drawing. Actually, tools. Could you make a drawing of a foundation for a house?
Yeah, I could do that.
Can you draw it like this big?
That's real big.
Yep.
Sure.
Tweedles are real big.
He looks out the window. That checks out. Yeah, I think I can do that. I'll
Okay,
just have to...
Finish your breakfast first.
Okay.
Yes, Mom.
He does, he like looks a little, wait.
Yeah, finish your breakfast, and then so D, we'll go ahead and get some plans drawn up for you and Dum to work on foundations. That'll be a lot of digging. We'll probably want to work on the edges of town.
Xerxes kind of sticks his head up, kind of in the window under Dum's. It's like, I can oversee if you need someone to do so.
That would be good. Oversight is always a good thing. You are the
Perfect.
foreman.
I like that title. I will be the foreman. And kind of out of the window.
In that case, Tools, if there's going to be a foreman on the project, then I suppose we can make it smaller.
That might be easier, and I have enough parchment for that.
That makes sense.
He starts making his sketch, and kind of while he's finishing eating. So, let's see. Roll me another Arcana check. The last one you make will be a higher DC to try to separate the thing that you want to stay out.
Fortune's favor.
Don't worry, I can make it good.
And this is not going to be the last one you make, so
Of course.
this is not that deciding one.
26.
Good. Yeah, things are going very, very well for you. So you are still working with that. What would the rest of you like to be doing?
I would imagine that we're heading back at this point.
Sure.
We've
Okay.
eaten some food. I'm assuming Janice has eaten off another bite of cold food.
When I see Melbane, I will be like, Melbane, Elaine has informed me that what I meant to
We
describe
don't need to
you-
speak of that. She has corrected me.
Oh, wonderful.
Dang it. I really wanted that to come up in front of everyone.
It still could.
Right.
It might. Oh my. I love you, Chipper.
My oh.
So that you didn't even finish reading
My street.
Yeah. So you guys come back into town, and you very clearly see where there have been recent Tweedle prints, and you kind of pass them on the way out as they are heading to the outskirts of town.
And I see that they've got somebody with them.
Yes.
Xerxes,
Yes.
yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dee.
Mm.
And Dum.
he He kind of like does a little flourishy bow, and
What are you off to doing?
we are going to be foundational tweedles.
What are you forming the foundations of?
Xerxes kind of looks at the plans and stone, seems like.
Huh.
Although we could make it out of anything that you chose. Water, sand.
Water, fire.
Meat.
If stone was the original.
Okay, I'm gonna try and take a look at the. Is it obvious that we're talking about foundations for a house?
Yes.
Stone is the best thing to use.
Are you sure? Because we
I
could
am
use the bones of our enemies.
100% positive.
Okay.
And our enemies don't usually have bones.
That's
quite a fair point.
strangely fair. he kind of nods and kind of just keeps walking. we're gonna go break stones now.
Have fun.
Outskirts of town.
Outskirts of town. And you come upon the two houses where your comrades are staying. Mm-hmm.
I smell different food you could try.
Yes, it does smell different.
Slightly carbon.
It's a little charcoaly smell to it.
So wait, so the cooking is being done in a separate house from the
Correct.
armory?
Yes.
Yeah.
Currently, Henry is doing his own thing in his own space.
I imagine we go to the cooking.
Yep.
So all of you have gathered there.
Morning.
Chipper, good morning. Would you like some breakfast?
Oh, we actually ate, but thank you.
Okay.
I would like some.
Yes.
All right.
Janice wants to try things.
She like hands you a plate full of.
I take it. This is very different than the other food I have had.
Thank you.
Food is a new experience, apparently.
So
What?
all you're seeing is you don't see Emmy. All you see is her.
Sausage links.
Well, no, at this point that's
That's-
done. But all you're seeing is the displacer beast.
Sausage crumbs.
Sausage crumbs. When you smile, however.
Where's Henry and Emmy?
Oh. She like Chipper kind of points into where she last knew Emmy to be standing.
What is that direction in town?
Actually, that would be probably a chapel.
She's at the chapel.
Oh no, corner.
She needed to be shriven.
I will look at the empty corner. Ah!
But why?
It just seemed better.
To avoid the awkward.
What about Henry?
I think Claudius might have killed him. I'm not positive.
He's not dead. I killed his apple. He's next door.
Chipper just kind of looks at you. What does that even mean?
It would probably be better if Henry explained.
So he's alive enough to explain. We're doing better than I thought we were this morning.
He is in high spirits still.
Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna wander over to the
Yeah.
other house.
We're gonna go check on Henry.
Make sure he's alive.
So your compatriots knock on the door, or do you bother knocking? Well, I guess he knocked the door in, so yeah, you don't have to.
The
knock
door
on
is kind of
door.
off of the hinge, but it's still out.
Henry,
Yeah,
Are you all right?
I'm a little tired, but I'm all right.
It sounded like Claudius was going to kill you. What are you doing?
Which one do you want me to answer first?
The first one.
Which one was that?
The one that was said first.
What? Claudius was going to kill you?
Claudius
He
never said
was?
that out loud.
He was?
It sounded like.
That is what Claudius seemed to imply.
No, it isn't. That is what Chipper said.
You didn't
So,
correct her.
Nope.
what are you doing that made Claudius upset? And are you okay?
I mean, you could probably see the sword on the table.
I don't know why he's upset.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm building a suit of armor
What?
to house the souls of the children in.
Ah,
I'm sorry,
What?
the souls of children?
yeah, we knew
Yes.
about this, right?
I mean, yeah, because he announced that to everybody.
Right, yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
did.
Yeah,
tell us.
yeah. I was
Stuff
thinking
about
that was to everyone. I couldn't remember for sure.
I hope not, because this is going to be
Okay,
an
never mind.
awkward conversation.
Okay.
Is there a reason you are building them a suit of armor?
Yes,
Why?
because I can teach a suit of armor and not a sword.
Why is teaching a suit of armor any easier than teaching a sword?
Because I can interact with a suit of armor better than I can with a with a sword. Because a suit of armor can write, it can read, I can actually look face to face with this thing.
It's actually a super good idea.
Yeah.
Claudius was just pissed.
Fair enough.
Why, when he handed me the
That's-
sheet of paper, I was like, ooh.
It could have gone really poorly.
Yes.
That's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need help?
No.
Alright.
You would help the town by building a house.
Well, yes,
Maybe
we're
fixing the
gonna-
door.
I will mend
Yeah,
the I
apparently
will mend the door real quick with the mending cantrip.
We'll find something to do to be useful.
I helped build a barn.
I made sure nobody killed Melvin.
Don't know if the town would consider that helpful. No offense.
None taken.
I
Here,
also,
take these. I hand you a bag of apple seeds. Go plant an orchard.
How did you?
I told you it's a blender. He just.
Oh, they came back out that way.
I also assumed that before we left, we put Melvin back in the disguise that we kind of had him.
I feel like that's probably something that you would do, yes. Out of curiosity, were my hands supposed to be done today?
Is he? Which building is he in?
He's in the.
This one.
He would be.
He's poking through the Henry,
Yeah, he'd be
Henry
in
house.
with Henry.
the house that Henry
Oh.
built.
Wasn't Claudius working on those?
Perhaps.
No, it was the magic shop gentleman.
I'll check with Claudius and see
Mhm.
if he remembers
Oh,
time
and here are
frame.
those items I identified that Danny forgot and will probably give you later.
Nope. I messaged her midweek to remind
Oh,
her.
good.
And I have them.
And they are
So, the spoon with the herbs tied to it is the spoon of the demon tongue, which
Better write this.
That's
yes,
really
because
wonderful.
this is not anywhere in anything. So yeah.
Where should I write that? How much room? That's fine. Okay, sorry. Spoon of.
Spoon of the demon tongue.
which does what?
Placing it under your pillow grants you to be able to commune with one evil entity of your choice. And when used for serving food, it slowly can. It essentially poisons one's alignment and shifts them into an evil alignment.
Huh. What if they're already evil?
If they're already evil, then it has no effect. The silver hook was enchanted to break a magical effect, but it is cursed to shift one's alignment to evil.
Where did we get these again?
The hag.
The hag. There were 2 bottles. One was a potion of hill giant strength, and one is a potion of invisibility. Those 2 are in the actual
Right.
stuff. think that was it, right?
That list is on my phone. It may be. Oh, there was a bag of money. Is it just a bag of money?
It is a bag of money. It's just a bag of gold.
Just generic bag of money.
And I assume that the empty jars are those potions, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Bag of pixies.
The bag of pixies is a bag of pixies.
Okay.
You imagine that it's more an ingredient to make something else than it is something in
Are
and
they
of itself.
dead pixies?
They're dehydrated.
Oh, yes, they are like freeze-dried pixies.
2 bags of dust.
Oh,
Yes.
I missed
Yes,
that.
I've got, but it's because it's on my sheet.
Right, yeah, I didn't have my full list because I dropped my phone and my whole list disappeared.
Oh no.
We rebuilt it as best I could, but Keith is on it.
Oh, I forgot.
I'll say
something
that
I
one of
wanted.
them is
Dang
dust
it.
of dryness, and one
That
of
was
them is
magic item I
a
wanted, but I
shrinking
completely
powder.
forgot about it.
Okay.
Because I mean, you guys get a lot of mileage out of that sort of thing anyway.
Dust of
Okay,
dryness.
so if you've got that.
Yeah, and then shrinking powder?
I don't
made out
know
of
where my pencil went.
Probably.
There was
I mean-
stuff I wanted to get, but I'm busy with other stuff, so I can't get them.
Well, I mean, you could mention it to one of us.
I'll give you a shopping list. Should you are able to get them.
Yeah, so I would probably, at that point, gather up the boys and perhaps Chipper, if Chipper wanted to come along and go check out. So by the time Melvin gets back to the house, I'm no longer there, because I'm going to go talk to the magic shop owner and see where we're at.
Awesome. Chipper looks at you. It's like, I would love to go back when I'm not throwing up.
Oh, right. Don't eat the slime.
I mean, it's currently on Lord Boggleson, and I have learned my lesson.
Good.
She kind of looks bashfully at the ground. Some things are not to be eaten. Some things are not to be eaten.
I mean, that's a good word of wisdom there.
Also, I'm not letting Melvin go anywhere on his own, just in case.
That's probably for the best. Let me roll for the pitchfork wielding mobs. They don't notice him.
Just see if they have a circlet of concentration.
Okay.
A what?
A circlet of concentration.
So when I get there, that's probably the first thing I'll ask is for his shopping list.
And do. It's just the one thing, so I won't give you a list. But
Okay.
Does that just allow you to?
It allows me to concentrate on two concentration spells at once. But if I break concentration on one spell, both of them go away.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be useful.
Whether he has it or not is fine. Whatever. So,
Evens or odds?
you know my favorite.
They always
I
choose
forget
odds.
these
I'm the
odds.
one who chooses
Odds.
evens.
It's not my fault it rhymes with your name.
Hot dog.
Ew.
Cereal and egg.
Cereal and egg, yes.
That has all of the ingredients in the
No,
fritter.
you don't understand. There's more. It's a fritter. There's
Yeah.
more in a fritter. I'm going to make these.
Those are
guys.
the leading ingredients. Much like there is more in a key lime pie than just key lime.
Let's just not try those at the same time as the chocolate gravy, and
No,
we'll be okay.
No. But I'm
Pour
going to make them
over
good.
with chocolate gravy.
I believe
Have faith
in you.
in my ability.
I do have faith in your ability. It might look really, really strange, but I
the
feel like it
question
would
is not
actually
your
be
cooking
good.
ability. The question is how salvageable is this food?
We'll talk about this later, but I'm actually. I think these could be good.
I feel like you might be right. I would definitely be willing to try them if you made them. Chipper, this is your fault. So
I'll take pictures and let you know.
you go.
We'll send you some.
Are pretty much the whole gaggle going into the magic shop together? Anybody else have anything else?
I mean,
I'm just
Emmy
working
is
on
there
the-
with me. They're in the other building.
I'm working on the armor.
Okay.
I was taking the boys with me, and then
Oh, okay.
Chipper. if she
Apparently,
wanted
we
to
are
go.
remaining.
If we
in our
want to just
separate
sake of
groups,
brevity
so-
this, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
You guys would see because Henry's
no
little
door.
spot was first. Like there's the door's open. There are windows there. Like you can see as they pass by that they're headed into town. If you would like to join them.
Well, I mean, you'd see him pass by,
And the boys.
and the boys,
And the displacer beast.
and the display.
And the chipper. So Would you be picking up with them, or are you gonna stay put?
I don't care.
What you guys thinking?
Melbane wanted to find out about his hands, so I'd
Oh,
probably
yeah.
go with him to the magic shop,
Yeah.
since that's where they were being
It's
worked
gonna
on,
be
right?
a really big party. Yeah,
Yeah.
really small shop.
Yep. He'll probably stand outside of it. So Claudius, but he catches you on the way past. You had mentioned having work done on my hands, correct?
I had a really good idea. Yeah.
Do you recall the time frame that you were
So the
thinking?
time frame might be a little bit off. He had said roughly a day, but he also was given a bunch of work by Henry, so I don't know.
We'll find out then. I'm
That's where I'm headed now.
willing to wait if we need to be here for another day anyway, I take it?
That's the plan. Because
Alright.
he's also maybe working on my armor. So
Very nice, very nice. You all kind of meander up. When you get to the store, you see through the window a very unconscious Colin, like, draped over his work, like with a little screwdriver in his hand, and Linda behind her apothecary stand, like mixing some herbs and putting some things together, concocting, and she's got these funny little goggles on for eye protection, so she looks a little bit like a crazy scientist at the moment.
maybe it would be best if only one person went in.
I'm
It
going
looks
to go.
like Colin is asleep by all means.
So yes, you.
I'm going to walk up to Colin and shake him awake
Oh,
and cast Greater Restoration so he has no exhaustion.
Oh.
good call.
Oh.
I'm fine because I want the
Thank
potion.
you.
You're very welcome.
Oh, it's good to have
Did you do the effects?
skilled people in town. Wow. I appreciate that. This has been a very long night. Oh, what can I do for you? What's... Wow, there's a large group of you
Have you guys
outside.
come in yet?
No,
No.
we were staying out because
We didn't want to
we didn't want to wake him
bother
up.
the man.
So it's just me.
Oh, see, what can I help you with?
How are the hands?
Ah, the hands. He kind of like pulls out a box. They're almost done. I suspect that seeing as most of the other parts for one of the other projects that I'm working on that's large are currently with the other person involved with this, you can kind of see that he's being very careful with how he words things.
Yes, Henry is still working on the suit of armor for the souls of dead children.
Wait, what? The souls of... Come again? I knew that there were spirits that he was wanting to... Of dead children? How
Yep.
morbid.
Indeed.
Huh.
About this time, the invisibility wears off, and Emmy's sitting on the bench outside, like, licking her leg, giving herself a cat bath.
Linda does not notice. She is still mad scientisting. So, probably past lunchtime, I can be finished with these. I have a lot of questions for Henry now, but that's okay.
Feel free to ask them to either him or anyone else in our group. I'm sure we can answer them.
I will probably have to sit and write them down. It's not as though he owes me any explanation, of course. I feel as though you are attempting to help our circumstances, so it's not for me to judge. I'm just deeply curious. But that's neither here nor there. Yes, hands. After lunch, probably a go. What else?
I don't know. I think that's all I'm here for.
I gave you the rubber ducky thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have that. Oh, yes, that's right. We gift wrapped it. That's not a word.
And so now I'm just gonna turn and look at everyone else who's still outside the shop and just wait patiently.
Are they okay?
Oh, last time I checked, yes.
I imagine we can't really hear.
No.
Just kind of gestures.
After you.
No.
Melbane stays outside.
One
I'm
for
gonna.
one.
If Melbane stays outside, then I'm staying out.
Okay. I'll
He's-
take the boys
I'm
and Chipper then.
basically
and-
bodyguard.
Are you coming?
I'm sitting. I'm on my bench knitting now.
If you ever want to know how, I'll teach you.
You. The armor. So, the smith has it.
Perfect.
It should be completed for you. I think that you'll like it quite a bit. I found a sigil that I found incredibly interesting, that it just called to me for you specifically. So
Dangerous, but okay.
I think that you'll like the effects.
It's called the Sigil of the Saint of Children.
It's especially potent in a scrap. If you
A scrap
find
of
yourself
what?
if you find yourself at the wrong end of a conflict, or perhaps the right end of a conflict, but it's going very poorly, very useful in those situations.
Okay.
Huh?
Sure.
Uh-huh.
You'll like it, I promise.
Thank you.
I spent a good amount of time on that in between things this evening, but I'm relatively positive that that it will suit you just fine and also fit you very well.
Thank you. Next question. Melbane's hands.
After lunch.
I see. Thank you.
Yes.
Do you have them handy?
I see what you did there. He pulls out a box and they are.
Knitting needle comes flying through the window at you.
I will not dodge.
You see Colin like duck under the counter. They're throwing projectiles. Oh wait, that's your
It's fine.
cat. Person, lady.
Hmm?
Okay.
Yes, those are all correct adjectives.
Can I take off these end pieces? And I'm gonna look at the places where fingernails would be, the last joint. Would you need these attached as you do your work?
I can't see why that would be necessary.
Okay, so I'm going to take them. And I thank you. I'll bring them back just after lunch, you said? And reattach them.
As a curious man, what is it you intend on doing with them?
We picked up some black obsidian sand. I wanted to sort of embed and use it sort of as an abrasive on the tips of the fingers. One, so they'd be softer, but also to give it a color where you and I would have fingernails.
Huh. Interesting. Absolutely. I'll just wait to put the finishing touches on at the very end.
Thank you.
We'll send one of us. He kind of like one of us will come and find you. Where will you be? I do believe it's raining. Sorry.
There was 2 houses that were put up yesterday, which is where we've sort of taken up residence temporarily.
Oh, okay. Very well. Very well.
And one further question. For those who are martially inclined, do you have something that might resemble this? And I'm going to hold up the knitting needle that was stuck in the back of my head. That you could enchant?
What might you want it to do as an enchantment?
Something to make it just more useful in combat.
More badass.
A combat knitting needle. Huh.
I know we've given you a lot to work on.
Who is this for?
The one who threw the knitting needle.
Oh, one moment. He kind of comes from behind his counter and goes out towards Emmy. My dear lady,
Yes.
might I just sit next to you for a moment? He sits there.
Of course, Mr. Darcy.
he looks at you and watches you knit. You're quite good at that.
Thank you. I've had quite a bit of practice.
All right. He stands back up and goes back inside. I think I know what I can do for such a thing. Would you want these specific ones enchanted, or more different kind of thing?
Up to you. Whatever would be easiest.
Yeah.
I think stuff was just falling on your deck.
There's a storm brewing, guys.
Apparently.
Say that again. Sorry.
Whatever would be easier for you. I know we've put a lot on your metaphorical plate.
Perhaps if I had something pre-existing that would go a bit faster, because all that would be necessary is the enchantment part. Perfect. You kind of see him turn around and start pulling things off of his counters to do different spells and whatnot. Anything else while we're...
No, but I thank you for your effort. Janice, you didn't have anything, did you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I believe that we have some woodwork to do, so thank you.
Stephen.
Oh.
Unless that was intentional.
No. Henry also mentioned he was looking for a circlet that would help him with his concentration. I don't know the specifics, but something to do with magic. Making his spells work 2 at a time.
Henry, it's the clockwork one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me look.
We typically call him Poor Henry.
Sorry, it's been a long night. I was making sure that it's the
For
fellow that
several
I've been
hours and you
seeing
forgot
all
my
night.
name.
So sorry.
Totally understandable.
I'm not so great with names, but I'm very good with feelings. And yes, I think I know just what he needs.
Perfect.
And he kind of disappears into one of the shelves of pre-existing goods. This one will be easy because it's already finished. I knew last week that someone would need this soon. There it is. He brings out his circlet, and it's a fine silver-looking thing that actually is embellished with little etchings of gears. It seemed like the right thing to do at the time, and now I understand why. He hands it over to you.
I'm going to turn and immediately put it on Chipper. This is for Henry.
Oh, wait, Henry. Oh. Well, it's lovely, thank you. I'll give it to Henry. Do you have anything shiny for me? We did give you the Lear Liar.
The liar, pants on fire.
Oh, that's right, that is very pretty. Never mind. I'm very happy about that, too. Yeah, okay. she kind of excitedly skips out of the store. About that time, you hear this from behind you. Linda Good has exploded a potion, and she's fine. But you see, like it's very cartoonish. There is like this hair kind of blown back. And she lifts the goggles from her face, and there's this perfect imprint where there's just like pale skin.
Caffeine patches.
With
Slept in 3 days.
With no side effects.
I'm discovering that the potions that we are replicating. I'm going to isolate that thing. I am going to find a way to get that out.
Be careful.
I know, I turned into a potted plant last night.
I've been there.
How long did it take yours to wear off?
I think that dear Janice here helped me out. It was only a moment. He magicked me out of it.
I think I was there for about an hour and a half.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. But I am going to figure this out. I'm this close. She kind of pulls down her goggles again and starts to mix things again. So that you have what
Working
you
on
came in
fingers.
for, other than and you have a time for the hands. What next, Ewanses?
Just working on the fingers.
Okay. So you go back to the house for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose I'll probably go see if I can find the Tweedles and help dig
Sure.
foundations.
Oh dear.
So you get over to where the Tweedles are, and Xerxes is kind of kicked up in a little stone chair that they have made for him, and watching and evaluating their performance. He looks over at you. Well, hello. And what is it that you would like to add to this grand scheme?
Just looking to assist where necessary.
Can you add upside down ceilings?
Upside down ceilings?
You mean floors?
You mean floors?
No, that is not what I asked. A floor would be a floor. An upside down ceiling is a ceiling that's upside down.
Like upside down in the room?
It could be.
Well, I'll give it a shot.
Perfect. Roll me
Makes
a
floors.
performance check.
3.
This is some amazingly shoddy construction. But, you know, it's
They didn't
good.
ask us if we were skilled workers.
That is very true. Melbane kind of looks to you, Elaine. So, what is it that you might want to be?
Oh, we didn't actually tell Melbane.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess
Not
you
yet.
I probably would have on the way out.
did. Okay.
Lunchtime.
Totally acceptable. This poor man has been working a lot. Until then, what would you care to do, my dear?
Well, I'd say let's help, but we might not want to put ourselves in a position where anyone can see that you don't have hands.
That's a very good point, yes. I suppose I can keep Claudius company.
Well, I'm not. You're staying with me.
Yes, ma'am.
On the off chance that these people figure out who you are, we're going to make sure that. Hopefully, I don't have to kill anybody today.
Very well. I would prefer that.
Sorry, I was going through the cards and the picture for the Cloak of Invisibility just isn't there.
I love that.
Well, of course it's there. It's just invisible.
I'm honestly not sure what we can do until lunchtime. We could-
I am wandering out of town.
Out of town.
Out of town.
Okay.
Did we notice this?
I'm not hiding it.
Sure,
I
roll me a
just start
perception.
walking.
We'll see if you notice that he's just strolling away.
23.
Oh yeah, you see him. Like, since you're not trying to hide it, I'm assuming, yeah.
Nope, just walking.
Maybe we go keep an eye on him. Just on the off chance that it's.
So suspicious.
Sure.
Let's.
I feel like that's.
As good a
Yeah.
use of our time as anything else right now.
I would concur.
So we'll follow Janice.
So when I am a sufficient distance outside of town that I don't think anyone in town would stumble upon me or be watching me from afar, I will find a nice secluded place and sit down and intrude upon whatever Dream is doing at the moment.
Okay. So.
And if you guys are close watching me, you but not Melbane would get sucked up in this. So same thing, everything like clouds over.
Huh. That's cool. So she's actually going to be going with you.
If she's close enough, yeah.
I mean,
How close are you staying?
I figured we're not hiding that we're
Okay.
following him. We just kind of
Okay, sure.
came with you.
Okay.
Don't know what you're doing, but I figure it's not good to let one of us wander off by ourselves.
So as you as the fog kind of breaks away, you see Dream in something that looks like a study, but it looks infinite. It's just this ceiling. That's not the correct term. It's an unceilinged space where this shelf of books just stretches as far as you can see in any direction. He is seated. I can't talk. Sorry. I feel like that Johnny Wiseau meme right now.
I was thinking dumb.
Oh, that also works. He's sitting at an old roll top desk, with a raven kind of perched there, squawking at him. He doesn't look up from his writing as he feels you kind of insert yourself into his space. Janice. And company. He looks over. Good to see you too, Elaine. What may I do for you this time?
I was wondering if you could help me with something.
As best I can, of course.
There is a great tree in the eastern parts of the realm of madness.
Yes.
I was wondering if there was a symbol or something associated with that tree, something I could use to help draw us to it.
Such as like a transportation sigil.
Yes, exactly.
That seems doable. So, DM asks, are you wanting... So, with this sigil, you would draw it and teleport? Like,
I would draw it and use a spell to teleport to that location. I would basically create a portal, and anyone who moved through the portal could teleport there.
Okay. There's gonna have to be a save for that.
Okay.
For anybody who crosses through the portal. Okay, yeah. Yes, that's actually a very important tree in the landscape. Everything in the space could be represented with the sigil. One moment. Let me see if I can demarcate this. You kind of see his eyes glaze over from the black starriness that they were into this whiteness. He draws in the air. I have a lot of notes. I wasn't sure what you guys were going to get into today.
Neither are we.
Would we ever know? If tell us.
This is a really crappy little... He creates a sigil on the parchment, and as he taps it with his quill one more time, you see this like spark kind of shoot out from the ink on the paper. This should do what you need. You could use it probably only once a day. The landscape, I doubt, would be stable enough in its current state to support more than that without influencing the fissures.
That should be enough.
Are you alright?
I didn't expect to be here.
Oh.
Melbang isn't here.
No.
Why isn't Melbang here?
I do not have a strong enough connection with Melbane to take him out of the realm of madness.
While I have you here, what do you know of Melbane?
He's a good man. He is.
He's a god.
Not exactly. He is the flip side of the coin from my sister.
So he just came into existence because your sister was there.
Yes. So, the way that our beings work, there exists one which necessitates the other. And in cases where it's something to the effect of dream versus reality, there is another in addition to that, representing what you see. It encompasses everything. So, my big sister exists because my big brother exists. I exist because she exists. There is one who represents the other side of my coin, if you will. And of course, my youngest sister, whom you've yet to meet, but hopefully will soon. As she is chaos, then so must exist order. So it just kind of happens.
So if something were to happen to your sister,
Mm-hmm.
what would happen to Melbane?
To say that you can kill a wave function is not accurate, but one can manipulate or warp it, and if you warp one side of the coin, then the other two will become warped, changed, in a reflection of the way that the other is.
Good to know.
One can only assume at this point that no harm has been done beyond confusing the already confused, as Melbane seems to, from your line of questioning, I assume, maintain his personality.
Yes, we were able to pull him out of a sort of captivity.
That is one way to phrase what was done, yes.
I suspect that captivity would have been in some way similar to this mirrored idea.
So we need to make another set of hands for...
What? Come again.
Well, Melbane's... The symbol of Melbane's captivity was on his hands, and so by freeing him, we removed his hands.
That doesn't mean your sister lost her hands, does it?
It won't be probably quite that direct. I suspect that the idea of my sister's manipulation and enslavement would not require the use of her hands. It would be her mind.
So we would need to get her a new mind.
Or just stop the thing that's manipulating it might be
I suppose that
a little
that could work.
less terrifying. I applaud you thinking outside of the box, but I feel like perhaps not trying to change her actual head would be best.
I
Yes,
remember
we're
that
not.
movie.
Refill
We're
them?
not going to. Yeah, no.
Return to Oz.
It likely wouldn't go well for you anyway.
Probably a lot more.
We'll have to see.
But thank you.
Based on what I saw on Melbane, we would be incapable of removing the influence on her.
I suspect that where the influencer falls, that which influences her shall as well.
Yes, we go kill the thing that's enslaving her. We don't pick her brain.
right.
That would be the preferable option, I feel.
Janice.
Is that to the DM?
No, that's to Dream.
I certainly hope so.
Should ask.
But
Should we be
didn't you
camping?
say that he was immortal? Couldn't sleep, couldn't dream.
What kind of quest have you sent us on?
When he broke the prison I created for him, there were a few things that changed.
Ah, okay.
He could live on eternally as what I imprisoned him as. And if unchecked, can return to that. He now has no natural end to his lifespan. Natural end. Being
Be the unnatural.
yes,
end.
be the unnatural end. However, it will not be easy. I am afraid that in my hubris and my short-sightedness in his punishment, I did allow him to become entirely too powerful within the realm of madness. I did not think before I acted.
That's how all of my problems start too.
It's funny how that works.
Well, thank you for your assistance and also helping me understand a little more of your sister's connection to Malbane.
Very much. Any time that you would like to. I don't know exactly how she got here with you, but yes, anytime. This is why I sent you people. I knew that you would do weird things with this. But effective, apparently. You're not dead yet.
Start falling in love with your sister's essential opposite.
What?
I didn't actually say that.
Please say you did.
Please say you did.
Whew.
I might have sort of mumbled it.
Huh. This should
Sorry.
be interesting.
I didn't.
I don't
mean to
judge.
Say that out loud.
What did you not mean
I
to say
didn't
out
say
loud?
anything.
No judgment. You're fine. Is there anything else?
No, that
No.
should be sufficient for our needs for the moment.
Very well.
Thank you, as always.
Yes. Good luck.
And everything will cloud over again, and then we're right back as if no time had passed.
Malbane's standing there looking confused.
And I will promptly go around stone shaping the ground to create the symbol.
Huh. Okay then. There is now a sigil.
Symbol of what?
Symbol to the Jub Jub tree, or the Hangman's tree.
How did I go with you?
Your connection with me is strong enough that when I leave, I can take you with me. And as we are connected in this way, and I didn't really think about it, and you were close enough, you came with me.
Huh.
And I will continue to go.
Finish the portal and Aeon door open.
You do complete the sigil.
Okay.
Are you opening the portal now?
I'm not opening
Okay.
the portal now. I'm just getting it ready.
Okay. So yeah, you've got the start of your sigil there. This is to what end?
Oh, Melvin, sorry.
Yes, sorry.
I thought the DM was
No,
asking me. I
sorry,
was like,
Malbane.
this is so that we could find ourselves at the Great Tree.
To what end?
Well, because that's where we need to go.
Oh, okay. DM misunderstood something. I thought you were talking about the tree where
tree.
Chipper came in.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
other tree. But
That's fine. Okay, yeah. Still works. I'm cool with this. Yeah. Very well. Well done. How did... Never mind.
how did what?
How did you come about the knowledge of
Oh,
this?
I asked Dream.
Beautiful. I haven't seen the man in weeks, and you can waltz right in
Elaine
here.
and I intruded upon him and asked him for his help.
Well, next time, tell him I said hello.
I will certainly do that.
Back in the village, the Tweedles and you have constructed some decent. Yeah, like the foundations are pretty good. The ceilings are terrible, but it doesn't help that Xerxes did not mention walls in this. So like you're just kind of putting these ceilings slash floors. You're not totally sure what on 4 pegs, and hoping for the best. So,
It's all warped wood.
yeah.
Bowed in the middle.
If you want to, you can roll me a performance check to see if you are more successful in other bits and pieces of this construction project.
You managed to make your bowed
Or
floor
you could
stay
argue
perfectly.
whatever. If you can make a valid argument for it, I'll
In my
allow the skill
grandparents'
roll.
house, they've got a TV on a little stand that's on wheels, and they wanted us to move it into the other room, and we couldn't find a part of the floor where it wouldn't, like where they wanted it, where it wouldn't just work.
I love it.
Sounds like my house.
I mean, I don't suppose it really counts as sleight of hand. That would be helpful. Survival, maybe?
Yeah, it takes survival. Building shelter makes sense.
What's the matter, Keith? Your charisma not good?
None of us have super good charisma except her.
Oh
gonna
man,
say.
man, these are shoddy. These
My
are
charisma's fine.
like the foundations are good. The walls are ridiculous. They're a mess.
I'm not sleeping in this house.
So, it's fine.
This is your
It's fine.
-1.
So-
You kept miscutting the braces,
You're the
in,
only
so
one
the
with
top
good
is
charisma.
like skewed.
But you're the leader.
Yeah. Coming back through town, we'll say probably like.
Measure once, cut twice.
Who needs that, right?
Do you guys do anything in between your discussion with Dream and lunchish time?
No, other than making the sigil, I wouldn't have anything else to do.
Okay. Would you be helping out with any of the repair efforts through town?
Probably not.
Okay.
We'll probably just hang
Above
out
the
on the
barn.
outskirts of town until lunch, because I don't think anybody should connect the dots that he doesn't have hands.
That's fair. That's fair. So yeah, around that time, do you go to the smith before going back to the hut?
Yeah, so as we do so, I'm just using the obsidian sand because I figure it's got super sharp edges, and I'm gonna sand down the fingertips specifically.
Okay.
Then I'm also gonna try to like embed a bunch where there would be a fingernail normally
Okay.
on both of those.
All right. So yeah, when you go to the smiths, there is a really beautiful suit of armor. It's not like a full suit, but there are parts that are like leather here and there, and then like big plates over the main areas, and it's really there's a sigil kind of branded embedded in the middle of the breastplate, with really beautiful decorations, kind of the filigree kind of designs over expanding outward from that central circle. This is probably the prettiest suit of armor you've ever seen. It's gorgeous. And when the smith sees you, like, he looks really worn out too. This is the most business that they've had in this kind of way in a long time, though.
That's fair.
So he looks at you. You. I was told that this is for you.
It's beautiful.
I am glad you like it, sir.
Not
Yeah,
making
well.
another.
There's a lot of good work that went into this, and I'm proud of it.
You should be.
Thank you. And if you are what my friend at the magic shop believes you to be, then it's worth the trouble.
What did he say he believes me to be?
A saint.
He says that he has the feeling in his bones that you are amongst the heroes of the land.
We gotta get him a white vestment.
Well, thank you. I hope to be.
You and your group, I hope anything that I make can serve you well.
I think most of what will serve us will serve you, and that is nails.
On it. He just gives you these very tired eyes and starts going back about it.
I wish it was there.
He kind of smiles and nods and hands you all of the different pieces of this armor.
Package it up and head back to where we're. Actually, probably to where we were working the day before and getting that list of woodworking projects. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I'll set up with Odd Swan and tools.
Okay.
Teaching them the woodworking stuff.
Roll me a check of your choice that applies.
I mean, would it be maybe just dexterity or strength?
I would think more dexterity if you're
woodworking
doing
tools?
fine woodworking.
Okay.
Is it gonna?
Probably not, because that's not what they really need. They need bigger things put together, right? Like housing. And
Yeah,
things.
yeah. So with that, like a survival would work. I would take. If you wanted to do a general strength, you wouldn't be really teaching them woodworking, but you would be doing like a lot of the heavy labor parts of the building.
I could do that.
That works.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'll take the 12 then. So just straight strength would be 17.
17. Okay. Yeah, you guys do pretty well. I'm gonna roll for the kiddos too and see.
Roll for the kiddos.
Roll for the kiddos. Alright. Oh, so Odd Swan is terrible at this. Like, so bad. At one point, he accidentally throws the hammer behind himself. It's like, oh, sorry! Tools does real well, as one would expect for a boy named Tools. He's very good at this game. But yeah, between the three of you, you're able to accomplish quite a bit of helping out throughout the morning.
To make some shapes there.
Oh, actually, and then maybe I'll send Chipper. Is Chipper still with us, or did she go to deliver the circlet?
She would have delivered the circlet to you. She also probably ended up back at the inn entertaining with Lord Boggleson.
That's fair. That's fair. Then maybe at some point I'll send Odd Swan to sort of let him get out of the way for a little bit.
What? He's being difficult?
Not difficult. Just and maybe
Honey,
send
go
him
ask your father.
to go find Melbane
Okay.
and bring him to us.
Okay. He goes to find Melbane and
Summon
Elaine.
the Bane of Mel.
Yes. Who are hiding out kind of in the hanging out in the house. I assume.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Having deep conversations,
Probably.
all the things.
Mhm.
If there is anything specific that you want to discuss with him, let me know later. But yes, he finds you and goes in. Hi, Claudia says that I should get you.
Did he say what for?
Well, he's more specifically said Melbane, so I imagine both of you, because you kind of travel
Because
together.
you're an item.
Well, yes, we'll follow you there.
Okay, and you as a small herd move through the town over to where Claudius is. Got him!
Thank you, Odd Swan.
You're welcome.
Flower, red thorns. Blue flower, red thorns.
This would be so much easier if I wasn't colorblind.
All right. Well, I believe that we should have some of your extremities finished by this point.
Wonderful.
And I'm gonna go ahead and show him the tips of the fingers. Do these look all right to you? And I'm gonna just like take one of them and rub it along his upper arm so he can sort of feel that they're a lot softer than the wood would have been previously.
I like that very much, in fact.
Good. Well, I suppose we should go pick up the rest. And I will reattach these to the other part.
That would probably be more desirable than just they are a little bit odd looking off of the contextual item.
Indeed.
But I like them. They're very well crafted.
Thank you.
Yeah, you go back to the magic shop. This time it's kind of flipped from how you saw it before. Like, Linda is crashed out over the top of her little apothecary station there. There are various like magical effects all over that side of the room. There are some weird things sparkling. You can
Her
see.
skin is blue.
Yeah, she's blue and bald now. She's like sitting there just kind of muttering to herself in her sleep, and Colin is happily working away. He looks up and is very excited to see you. I've finished them. I think that you'll like them very much.
Perfect. And I will show him the fingertips. We'll need to reattach these.
Well done. A great improvement. He kind of works on attaching them here and there. Hands them to you, and like, these were beautiful before. They have upped the ante. That one keeps coming up. They have upped the ante on everything about this. Like,
Sweet.
these are some beautiful, beautiful prosthetics. I believe that they'll take some time to get accustomed to,
Certainly.
but with that time, with that grace period, shall we say, I believe that it's entirely possible that these should function as normal hands and pick up all of the signals from his nerve pathways. So,
No. Thank you.
sorry.
Your poor wife. Do you have a blanket that I could throw over her?
I have blankets of invisibility, and I have blankets of. Oh, I have love potion blankets. Those are strange. I have. Oh, although no, never mind.
That actually sounds
Working.
really useful.
Yeah.
I've got a few different types of blankets, and
Just something that I could throw over your dear wife.
you can kind of see, like, he's a very analytical person when he gets in the zone. So there's this like clunking of the gears in his brain. It's
You'll
like,
get there,
why
don't
would
worry.
you- Oh. Yes.
Aw, Claudius, you'll be a good husband.
He's gonna be dead. Let's be honest.
Sure.
Claudius will get himself killed.
That's fair.
He pulls out a blanket from underneath this. It's like this. I usually keep this around just, for cold days when there's not enough coal on the fire. But
This is a blanket of comfort.
this is a blanket of comfort.
What you do is just a blanket.
And so I'll just drape it over her.
You're a good man.
Thank you.
Charlie Brown.
The
Thank
other
you.
thing that we discussed, the knitting needle, is that by chance
Yes,
finished?
we have. I actually have duplicated this, so there are two now. And I think that your friend would find this a very useful thing. I haven't made this up yet, so I'll give you something cool with this later.
I noticed the gift wrapping that was done yesterday. Could we do that for this?
Of course.
Thank you.
He
For what?
pulls out.
I have an idea for a request. I'll talk to you
Okay, cool.
after the session.
He kind of shoots his hand over to the side, and this paper roll sort of unravels itself onto the counter, and he kind of goes about building up a fun little. It kind of looks like a giant Tootsie Roll.
Perfect.
and it's very pretty.
You have been so wonderful. Thank you so much for everything you've done.
You're very, very welcome. It's nice to be able to flex my creative. Whatever happens up here that's creative. I'm
No, I'm with
grateful
you.
for the chance. Things are a little fried currently, but I'm grateful to be able to help. And if some of my ideas of who you are and what things you and your friends are capable of are accurate, if these things are accurate, then I feel as though it is talent and time well placed.
Well, thank you again. And if there's anything we can do for you in any way, any small way to repay you, let us know, please.
Just come back and help when that has been taken care of. He points to the
Ceiling.
like to the ceiling, but you can kind of see like he's directing his point like out the window towards one of the fissures in the sky.
If you could stop the sky from falling,
Yes.
that would be great.
Certainly. Thank you, Chicken Little.
You're welcome, Henny Lenny. I don't remember what their names are. I just remember that they rhyme.
Penny Penny.
Henny Penny, there we go. I like Lenny more. Sounds a little mobster hen.
Penny
Yes.
Lenny.
Henny Lenny. So yes, you now have hands and
So I'll step back out and gesture for them to follow me back to the house where you are.
I've been sitting outside the
Oh, that's right,
shop
you're
knitting.
oh, no,
Well,
you've
no,
been
No, you went
I've
to
been
go help.
helping Tweedles.
helping the Tweedles.
I am going to search for Emmy.
Okay. It's probably not hard to find her. There are two Tweedles building things.
Some very shoddily constructed houses.
Yes.
Well, it's straight this way.
Oh.
These will be like the shanties they send their homeless to.
Yes. Yes.
I really think we could have gotten it right with just a little bit more, or perhaps a little bit less wind.
Building a stable.
Emmy, that's
Maybe.
I'm not sleeping there.
I'm not either. I have a present for you. I requested something be made for you. I'm gonna hand you the gift wrapped
Hands you a
present.
collar with a bell on it.
It's just a ball of string. Party popper.
That you might want a party popper too.
Knitting
Knitting needles.
needles. Why, thank you.
They've been enchanted. You'll have to ask Henry the specifics, but I requested them be made specifically for you.
Well, thank you. Why?
To buy your favor.
Yep.
Please don't hate me anymore.
For your love.
Uh,
For your praise.
Some of that is because I have felt the distance grow between us after my mistake. I can't purchase an apology, but I wanted to do something for you
That's
to
not
show.
what we call a mistake. That's what we call a failure.
Do something to show you that I care and that I am sorry.
Thank you. It's good that you called it a mistake, dear, because it certainly was one. But who among us has not made mistakes before? Just don't do it again.
No more mistakes.
No more mistakes. You used up your lot.
You don't ever screw up that badly again.
Who among us hasn't made mistakes except for everyone else in the party but you?
I have not made mistakes.
Exactly. None of us have made mistakes except for Claudius.
Okay.
Totally how that works.
And
See.
perhaps you'd like to watch as we attach these to Meldane.
Certainly.
And I'm going to turn around to Melbane now that we've all gathered except Henry.
I'm actually
As a-
very-
Oh, you're with Henry.
As a side note, I thought when you said you were going to gift wrap, I thought you were going to gift wrap the arms, and I was like, that's kind of pointless.
Like,
One final challenge.
These are for you.
Because we took your originals.
I wasn't gonna bring
None
that
of
up.
us have the
Regeneration.
regenerate spell, and you're the only one that can do it. Whether or not
Thank
you
you,
do
my
will be
friends.
up to you.
I appreciate this most wholeheartedly. He hands out his stumps.
Most wholehandedly.
Ah, I see what you did there. I can't point yet.
Give it a minute. Colin said that they may take some getting used to, which I suppose you were already there anyway, but he said he thinks that they will connect to your nerves.
That sounds accurate. Hopefully.
Does it? If they make you
Based-
nervous, we can fix it.
I-
I'm just gonna keep pushing.
I'm just gonna go with this. Oh wow. He kind of moves his arms around.
Yes, we have a 9th level spellcaster.
This is most excellent. I might have to practice a few things.
You should do that out here. You have target practice. I'm gonna sort of gesture towards the buildings.
Oh dear.
Day after day, all Merlin does is practice,
He
practice,
he warns
practice.
the Tweedles and all of you to kind of stand aside. And I don't know what 9th level spell would do this, so I'm just gonna make one up and see if there's something that matches it later. But he
Reader swarm.
We thought he was a nice guy.
he kind of he waves his hands in a kind of interesting shape and draws a sigil in the air and whispers a few words in a language you don't understand and kind of pushes the sigil forward. And as you see him cast the spell, you see all of the woodworking around as far as the structure of the building kind of solidify into a logical geometric form and stabilize in that way. And you see like a couple of the walls that have kind of like they were propped up and fell down, propped up, like pulls that up to the side and just kind of does this with his hand, and you see these nails from the ground like ting, ting,
I
ting.
want this spell to be called Carpenter Square.
I can
Well,
probably
if you're
make that
going
happen.
to use magic,
I couldn't before, I'm sorry. This is a practice run. I'm just making sure I don't destroy the
The house
world.
now lights on fire.
Let's
Have to
see
work
if
out
anything...
a few kinks.
Oh. Doesn't light on fire, but like a few minutes into conversation, after you can kind of hear this creaking from behind you, where apparently some of what was done didn't totally take, and you hear this, and you see the whole form of this building go. It doesn't fall all the way over. It's just like now very leaning.
So now it's just a very nice leaning house.
Huh.
The Leaning Tower of Wood.
it's still perfectly good from this angle.
I'll work on this. It's gonna take a minute, I suspect. To get
I would
things
suspect
back.
it will take more than that.
No, but I want it to just take a minute. But I've been this patient this long. It will be okay.
Maybe if you cast haste on yourself.
Oh, that could go terribly or wonderfully. I'm not sure which.
Do you want to stay with Melbane as he practices? And I will go find Janice and Henry and see what's happened with my sword.
With your children, you mean?
Yes.
Sorry. So he stays and works on that, and you stay with him.
There might be functional houses at the end of that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You guys go. Do you go with? Or?
Yeah, I'll go with.
Okay. Henry, roll me another check.
What kind of ability scores are you using?
I assume it's intelligence.
Intelligence
Fox
is
is cunning.
Arcana.
Good.
Nice.
He now has advantage.
I will also give myself Fortune's favor because you never know.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is going
And
to
my
be
last Fortune's favor for the day.
This is also
At
going to
least-
be your last roll
my,
for.
Yep, this is the one that makes or breaks
Yeah,
it.
this is the one that makes or breaks it.
Breaking the sword, what's the worst that could happen?
Claudius kills you
Well,
With what?
with his dirk, with his glaive,
with his
with his
bare
horns.
hands.
24?
That was actually exactly what you needed to be able to keep them separate. Like anything above an 18 would have been successful to be able to
Mhm.
put everything into it, but to separate them, yeah.
Out
So
of curiosity, Henry, since I assume we have both been sitting here for quite a little bit since it's
I have my chained hair
all I've been doing.
pulled back.
Did you mention anything about there being a spirit that you didn't want to pull out of that sword?
To you?
Yes.
Not when you were in the ring.
So, in order to do this, you've had to have a certain level of attunement with this. You feel, and you've kind of the kids have been trying to talk to you back and forth, just to kind of test the waters.
Hey!
I'm assuming you have been your reasonably normal Henry self,
Yep.
and very short, concise answers.
Mm-hmm.
But Cassia's kind of, she's the one that's the most vocal and asks a lot of very intelligent questions. She inquires about your process and how things seem to be working. Why these actions yield these consequences. And so even though you're still giving concise answers,
Mhm.
it feels a lot more, I don't know, it feels like a much more satisfying conversation because she's asking about things that are of interest to you. And she does, like, as you're getting to the point that you are getting closer to being able to finish inserting their spirits into this armor. So, Henry,
Yeah, it is.
do you...
Are you speaking your half out loud?
No.
Have you always been here, or did you come here from the outworld as well?
Yes.
To which?
Yes, the outside world.
Yes.
You're very different than anyone else that I've seen here. I've seen some things that are vaguely like you, but I haven't seen them in a long time.
What does that mean?
Oh, many, many years before. I remember seeing a whole group of people that looked sort of like they were made of clockwork.
I've seen a couple, right? There was that one.
The
there
one-
was the couple
yeah,
people in
the
the red.
Red Queen's
The Red
Castle.
Queen's Castle.
The
Yes.
Guardians.
You've seen them, but they were clearly more construct
Okay.
and under other things control. So do you say that to her, the Red Queen thing?
No.
There used to be many more, but they remind me of you, and it just made me think that maybe you were from here originally. But you'd have had to have been really old. I've been past for a very long time.
Well, I'm not that old.
Maybe it's just a coincidence then. I was
Maybe.
just curious.
Because everything is always a coincidence.
Indeed. Okay.
Are we almost ready?
I think so.
Don't worry, this won't hurt a bit.
Yeah. As you cast the final spells, you feel almost like you reach out to do the somatic components, to peel the spiritual lining out of the sword,
Okay.
but it feels like you are, in order to keep the other one in the sword, you are. If you have experienced the feeling of like tearing two pieces of meat away from each other,
Mhm.
it's that kind of feeling, that sort of sticky feeling.
Sinewy.
Yeah, sinewy. That's the word I was
Yeah.
looking for.
Here is a question for you,
Mhm.
more for thematic purposes.
Mhm.
When I do this spell, can it be like from the sword bursts little ball like will-o-wisps,
Sure.
and I find the bad one, stick it in a jar for a minute, move all of the tiny will-o-wisps into the armor in their own little spots, and I put this little sucker back in the sword.
Okay.
Is that what is the bad one colored a different color than the other ones? And if so, what color is it?
Easy back.
So they're all different colors. Most of them are like a pastel glowing light. This doesn't seem to be that radically different. I mean, it is a different color, but no more so. Like, you can identify which one it is,
Mhm.
but it doesn't seem to have an overly different color about it. And do you have anything like detect good and evil or anything like that going? I don't know. Have you done anything precaution wise to look and see what's what?
Upon seeing this process, I would cast Detect Good and Evil.
Do you have that?
I do.
I don't. I don't have anything to look.
The spirits that he has taken away from the other spirit,
On this way.
they are all. Almost all of them are very good. There are a couple of the very small ones that you kind of assume would have been very
Mhm.
young that are neutral. Just they didn't have long enough to form those
Mhm.
those thoughts really. But they're certainly not evil. Interestingly, the other energy doesn't seem to put off a true evil either. It's more a neutral.
Hmm.
It's not giving you any feedback one way or another. It's just there.
Hmm.
But it is a lot larger. He's a big guy.
Put the big guy back in the sword.
You hear this. Why?
That is a very open-minded question. Did I see you cast Detect Good and Evil?
No.
Its name is Audrey. Audrey 2.
No, I'm pretty sure that one would have showed up as evil.
Okay. I have separated it as per the correct quest move.
You're just not going to answer him.
No.
Fair enough. It's a creepy voice. I can't blame you for that.
Henry.
Yep.
What was that last one you put back in the sword?
Claudius told me to put it back in.
Did he say why?
Did you say why?
I think I just said the other kids think it's creepy.
Oh, the other kids think it's creepy.
Have we established that you just have? Do you have to have attuned to the sword to talk to them?
Or at least a slight attunement. 'Cause
Yeah, there's some mixed attunement stuff that can happen, but
Well, you got about another few hours if you want to attune to this thing.
Yep. I would like to talk to this thing.
Okay.
While I finish preparing the rest of the
And Henry's not going to
Tying.
stop me.
nope.
tying the threads to different colors of fire spouts.
Awesome. So yes, you attune to the sword.
What is your name?
What is your quest?
Why not?
Collector.
You collect things?
Yes.
Coins, actually.
What do you collect?
Bodies.
Pokemon cards.
Bodies. What? Any specific kind of bodies? All bodies? Small bodies? Big bodies? Red bodies? Blue bodies?
Bodies.
What do you do with your collection of bodies?
Stronger.
You get stronger from your collection of bodies. How many bodies have you collected?
Many.
How many is many?
You can see, you feel this pause.
What kind of
Panic
ballpark are we
slaps.
talking about?
I like that I'm making a spirit thing count.
Too many.
Can't count that high, doesn't have fingers and toes.
More or less than 100.
In life,
Yes.
many more.
How about in death?
Not yet.
Not yet. How many have you collected in death?
How many people have you killed with this sword?
Does the house count?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope I didn't take those.
No.
Okay.
They stay with him.
Here's the soul of a mimic.
Mimic?
6, I think, where I got the killing blow and did the thing.
6.
Interesting. And in life, you collected these bodies as well. Oh, by the way, I am saying this out loud. I
Oh.
am not talking in my mind.
Keep it down.
Trying to concentrate.
Concentrate.
But you have no name.
No name.
Did you have a name in life?
No name.
I don't know anyone who went by the name No Name. So surely you must have had an actual name in life.
They call Collector.
Collect.
Can I make a history check?
Insert another dime, please. What now?
History check? Do I know of a thing that was called Collector?
Give it a shot.
Collector. He held the Infinity Stone for a while.
Natural 20.
Oh, nice. So, you would know of a thing, they're not necessarily evil, but they existed in the Under.
Mhm.
There aren't many of them, but they are referred to as collectors. Their more official term would be cadaver collector. They're not, I don't know if you've seen references on those or not. It's not the exact same, but they would go through and effectively, they actually scavenged a bit more than they were murder hobos. They would kill without worrying about it, but if they saw things at the end of their lifespan too, they would just take the kill and grow larger and larger. So in some ways they viewed themselves as mercy killers a lot of the time, especially in the Under, because you were putting a thing out of its misery, because if you're under there already, you're probably pretty miserable. But they are really formidable fighters as well when they fight. And it is going to be really similar to many of the stats, but they're tweaked a bit. Yeah.
So how long have you been in this weapon?
Days.
But no nights.
How many days?
When did this thing get made?
Mm.
Like,
Good question.
we'll say like
Give me a
5
second.
days
Give me a
ago.
second.
Wait, I'm just gonna ballpark that.
I think. I mean, we've
It's
been
been
traveling, so
about.
probably a couple of
It's
weeks.
been
Couple
exactly 9 days.
9 days. Okay.
Because it took us 3 days to get from the White Castle to Cannibal Cove. We
Yep.
spent like 2 days around that area, and then it took us about a day.
Being in this sword allows you
to
to
get
still
there,
collect
that,
bodies.
and then all
Day.
the travel to that. So 9 days.
Yes.
Actually, could be 10.
What are you collecting them for? What kind of power?
Power of the voodoo.
You do. Sorry. He seems confused by this.
Good.
Like you can feel it
Mhm.
since you're attuned. Like you feel the confusion. Power.
And what will you do with your power?
Destroy.
Destroy what?
Bodies. What is necessary?
And what is necessary?
What is in my way?
And what's in your way?
You right now.
There's this idea that flashes in your mind that it's like it thinks you're stupid. Kind of this idea of like it's not a specific thing, it's whatever gets in my way.
You're in my way.
Has anyone who's used this sword ever been in your way?
Not yet.
And what happens if they get in your way?
I'm offended.
Collect.
I see. So this thing is from the under.
Mhm.
Do I think I could pull it out of the sword?
You know somebody who did.
Oh, I know.
Do you have anything specific that you can think of might work?
Planar binding? I've used that to control these things before.
Yeah. I mean, could feasibly do that.
Then go ahead and have it make a wisdom save.
Oh, that's a 19. It
Make it
doesn't have
again.
any. Okay. That's 14.
That is not enough.
Okay. So yeah.
I am going to pull it out of the sword.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I put that back. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Just keep the thing away from me.
So you.
So it is again shackled by like a silver, like the thing that they
Silver ball gag.
no, it's the thing in Doctor Strange that they knocked the one evil sorcerer into and it like collapsed all over his body, something similar to that. And I'm going to have it walk downstairs with me to come talk to Henry.
So.
Downstairs.
Yeah, I would have gone upstairs to have this discussion since you asked me to keep it down.
So yeah.
Consider it.
You
I didn't want to build a second floor, but that's fine.
see this like
Much better builder than I did.
it's like a mist. It's very much a ghost kind of a thing. It's massive, just absolutely gigantic. This huge thing
Did you get
with
Did
these.
you capture a big mist crow?
Put it in a jar.
It's definitely not a crow. It's
I know.
For comedic purposes, is this when everyone else arrives?
sure.
So I am. There is this giant mist thing, and I'm holding your sword.
This giant mist thing. This is a nicer picture than what is in my head, but it's this odd.
That's a nicer picture.
Yeah. In my brain, it's a lot scarier than this. And there are, you see pieces of the things that you have killed hanging from spikes all over its back. It's
There's
segmented
a whole
like
house
an
there.
insect.
Does that thing
There-
have a window in
It
it?
looks more like the entrails of the house, because yeah, that
I
wouldn't
do
fit
like
there.
I
Kind
do
of
like the
slid
image
off.
that like right in the center of its body there's a window.
Yeah.
I thought the eyes were the
go
window
ahead,
to the
Rick.
soul, but apparently it's the stomach.
Just.
Hand you the sword. I'm going to go dispose of this.
Okay.
What is that?
Yes, dispose. It's like
Is
collecting.
it
but
talking out
differently.
loud?
Yes.
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
What?
please go dispose. If you do need assistance,
What
let
is
me know.
that?
I can always do something to
Oh,
it.
this is what was in your sword, and I'm going to walk out the door.
Excuse hey,
And,
wait.
and as I'm walking past him, I'm going, "Come, no name, Come along.
That was the bad thing.
He does.
Here's the sword, but I don't do anything else.
I'm gonna collar my shoulder. You can come along if you like.
He looks very
Or you can
sad.
stay because this is almost done.
Claudius is really torn again. I guess Claudius will stay.
I'm gonna go with Janice.
I'm going with Janice, and I'm bringing Melvin with me.
Where are you going?
Isn't he still
Uh,
out working
back out to
on
the
magic?
Oh,
outskirts of town. Not the exact place, but near where I drew the sigils, just sort of out of town with this thing.
oh,
I'm missing
You're
some of my
rolling to
toys.
see what other people are doing.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that you're walking down town with like a monster
Yep.
just hanging out with you. A few ladies that are passing by, like heading towards one of the shops to get nails to supply. You just hear this like shriek, and they
No,
run.
no, everything's fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine. Have you looked behind you?
Yes, this is No Name.
There's just this sadness in his face as he looks back at the women who are running away. Goodbye, nice ladies. And turns his head back to the front.
Send him back to the Shadow Realm.
So, upon getting out of town, I'm going to look at him and say, "So, No Name,
Yes.
when did you die?"
Before.
To at least 2 weeks ago.
Let me see something.
Kill it.
All of my NPCs exist to make Nat squirm. Either because they're terrible or because they're wonderful.
And all of your creatures make me squirm.
Okay, I
Because
need a
it's
specific number
disproportionate.
of days on how long ago this thing died.
Okay.
Why,
So it was.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I
need
see
a
where this is going.
specific number of days.
I'm gonna say 12.
God,
Yep.
please no. Please 10.
Well, so in theory it could be 10. If he died right as he was being put in, that would put it one more day than the day that it was crafted.
And that would have made sense, actually. So
Up to you.
I'm just super curious as to how this is gonna go. So sure, why
Alright.
not?
So I'm going to say, you collect things in the realm you're from, right?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to send you back to that realm so that you can continue to collect things.
He looks at you, kind of surprised. Really?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just need you to remain here for about an hour.
He kind of crosses his legs and sits.
And I am
I
going
love you
to
so much for doing this. I love you so much for doing
to
this.
stand in front of him and hold my hand out just in front of his forehead and concentrate for an hour. Do-do-do.
He hangs out, and you can
He is returned to life.
to life.
To life. He is now living. He returns
He
with
cast
his whole
Raise
body.
Dead.
I cast Raise Dead.
That's awesome. So, but you're transporting him back to the
Not
under.
yet. Not yet.
Not
That's,
yet.
that's the next. That's the next.
Okay,
part.
so this
and
is a
he
multi-step
He is
process.
still bound to my will. But first, I'm bringing him back to life so that he's not a ghost.
So you see him kind of take solid shape, and he is super gory.
Oh, I bet.
He's
I bet.
real disturbing to look at.
All right.
Janice, are we sure about this?
Yes, he is bound to my will for the rest of the day.
Okay,
Serve.
I'm glad.
Now please.
All right,
get
no.
him.
Now, I would like to send you home. However, the magic that I will use to send you home, you may try to resist. If you do, I may not be able to send you back where you came from. So if you would like to return there, I will need you to not resist as I send you back. Does that make sense?
I cannot stay with Master Claudius.
No. It would be unwise for you to
Master
stay
Claudius
here.
won't
There
let you
are
collect.
not enough bodies for you to collect here.
I think you mispronounced Saint Claudius.
It would be best for you to return home where you can collect as many bodies as you wish.
Very well.
All right, then please do not resist, and I will use Arcane Abjuration to send him back home.
You are being saved. Please do not resist.
Yes.
You're gonna banish him back to his home.
Yes, and so a door sort of, it's like an optical illusion, but it seems to form out of whatever is behind him, and it opens, and if he's willing, he goes back through the door, back home, and then the door shuts and fades.
He stands up from his haunchy sit and starts walking towards the door, and he turns his head towards you. Tell Master Claudius he will be missed.
I am sure he will miss you as well.
And he walks through
May
the
you
door.
collect many bodies!
Thank you.
The door closes. So who all came with me?
I mean,
Just you?
I guess I wasn't with Melbane practicing, so probably not. Well, actually, what time of day is it at this point?
It would be getting into evening now.
Okay, so we probably would have come back, and yes, we would have followed
Okay.
you.
Well, now that is taken care of, and we no longer have to worry about it trying to collect the body of whoever wields the sword.
Oh, is that what was going to happen?
Yes, I had a very long conversation with him, and I determined that that is what he would do if he felt like his wielder was in his way. So, since all of the other spirits of the children have been moved to the armor, I decided we would send him home.
Well done.
Danny's a proud DM.
Because I wasn't
And
going
I
to do anything
believe-
with those spell slots anyway.
I believe that's it.
Okay,
Armor.
so what happens now?
This. And I believe the armor starts.
The law of equivalent exchange.
There's like this weight that settles into the armor almost like
So the armor has a helmet that you can see will spat fire depending on what color it will be. Also on its chest, I have written the names of all of the children and a few blank spots that will be filled in by them. Whenever one of the children is activated into the helm, its name will light up so you know who is speaking.
Nice.
that's really cool.
And now it is alive.
Yeah.
Right at the end of the night, but that's fine.
Really? Where did my? Oh, I gave my other key.
The suit of armor
I have them all.
kind of takes on this. You almost hear a breath in, and it sits up and begins to look around the room. I mean, I guess you can't see it smile, but.
Well, if you want, the fire can form a face if you'd like.
Oh, I like that. Yes. We'll do that. The firelight forms a little bit of a face beneath the kind of grating in the armor. Claudius?
I'm gonna go hug the armor. Bear hug.
Oh, if only I was there. Why are you saying thank you? Shouldn't you be hugging Henry?
So
He's too
Actually,
tired.
that's probably what happens next. Is I set the armor down and turn and hug Henry.
the armor hugs Henry as well. It just wraps his arms around.
But not
Very well.
itself.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Henry. How can I repay you?
Let me sleep.
Fair.
I want 10 hours of
Well,
undisturbed sleep.
If you guys would like to use this house, I will cast non-detection in this house. I will be going now.
Here, let me set you up a bed. Give me just a moment.
I can take a corner. Just, I'm gonna go to sleep here in like
I
2
to
minutes.
imagine you like turn
Just-
around, you're like, oh no, I'll set you up a bed. You look back and he's in a chair asleep.
So I set up a bed regardless, and I will put
Oh.
him in it,
Well, hold
even
on.
if he's asleep.
Where are the others sleeping?
Here, if you want, since this is where you did your magic.
Okay. That way I don't have to do another non-detection.
I will make sure they sleep here,
Good.
and I will put him in the bed once it's made up.
That's fabulous.
And I will go to sleep for however long I sleep for.
And so
And more hours.
excellent. Yes, you will all be able to get a long rest tonight. Yeah, Cassia is overjoyed, and every now and then, like, you'll see the flame change color, and you'll get, like, Kibbit and Miser. Miser will just be really, really excited. It's like, I've got a body, I've got a body, I've got a body, this is so cool!
Now we can teach you real bowling.
Wait, so Tweedle bowling isn't real bowling?
No, that's what I meant, is Tweedle bowling.
Oh, okay.
You're not there.
This would be fun.
I mean, we do arrive at some point.
Yeah, you would probably, like, about the time probably that he is freshly passed out, and we're experiencing the interesting changes of character in the suit. You
I
guys
sound
walk
like
in.
one of those like cooking drivers.
So when we arrive, I will say, the collector that existed in your sword has been sent back home.
Is that the scary thing?
That was the scary thing.
Thank you.
I discussed it with him, and he said he would remove his wielder if it got in his way. He did want me to tell you that you will be missed, and he wanted to stay and serve, and I quote, Master Claudius.
Thank you for sending him home. He
Yep.
didn't deserve the fate he received.
Are we supposed to call you Master Claudius?
Nope, I'm Mother Claudius, if you remember.
Mother Claudius. When did that happen again?
Like, yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, with the lady with the stick and things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Claudius, are you going to introduce us to?
Hi. I'm Miser.
The phrase you're looking for is your children.
There's this little yellow glow. I'm Miser. Hi. How are you?
Hi. Good.
There's just this like smile.
And I'll do introductions with everybody now that they can see them. I think that you will recognize all of these folks, but they haven't seen you like this. So
I like these people. These people are nice.
What's Emmy doing?
Emmy's in the corner with her displacer beast, just kind of watching.
Can I pet the kitty?
always
Which one?
ask
Which one?
Daddy's master.
Which one?
Either. the flame changes. You hear Cassia, Miser. We're more polite than that, remember? I'm sorry.
It's all right. Dear, it's fine.
He's 5.
Oh dear, children.
He's very excited.
Does Emmy not like children?
I never had children, dear.
Oh, I'm glad I passed out.
Me neither.
Actually, I am aware of my surroundings, so I do
I
hear
had
that.
nieces and nephews, and
Let's keep that later.
well, I liked their visits. I liked it best when their visits were over.
Fair.
I'll try to keep the young one contained.
It's probably more me than it is you, dear.
He tends to stay a little bit farther back anyway, because he's lacking some of the skill sets that are most useful in the circumstances we seem to find ourselves in
I
frequently.
understand.
Claudius, I do not know if your sword will still remain as powerful as it was, being that they have all been removed, but it may.
This is better.
The armor smiles. Uh,
The armor full of children.
yes, the armor full of children smiles.
I'll have Henry take a look at it later. Meantime, I suppose this is yours, and I will hand them the sword.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Are you sure?
An armor full of
Are you
children's
telling me this is
sword.
a mistake?
Yes.
I have been
Yep.
teaching them, if it
Now,
makes a difference.
Claudius, I have heard other people before make statements along the lines that we should not leave children unsupervised with sharp objects.
No offense to you all, but you're a little young to be carrying around a giant sharp sword without knowing how to use it.
Their body's literally made of metal.
I know. I'm not worried about them.
Your sword was gifted to you by a maniacal evil man and his shadow dragon. I don't know if them being made of metal helps.
Perhaps. We'll discuss this at length. Don't worry.
Be careful.
I'm
Only
not
stab things that
offended.
need to be stabbed.
I've been with a 5-year-old perpetually since several days ago, so
Girl.
I understand.
Yes.
We will discuss this later.
Huh.
You see Janice go,
That's.
but he does not say anything.
I think I know what you're thinking,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it's gonna work.
Now I'm really curious about what he's thinking.
And I'm going to start working on another project.
Oh dear.
I'm going to start working on a bracelet.
Okay.
I'm aiming it to be sized for Chipper.
And at this
Aw.
point, I'm going to follow Henry's lead and curl up in the corner with my displacer kitty.
Have you told everybody that we have to stay in this house?
Not yet, but I was going to. Henry did his spell in the house, so this is the place we are safest. He also is unconscious, so he will not be casting that again for a long time.
Alright.
I find this suitable. Cassia just kind of just.
You're the best. And I'm gonna try on my armor.
It fits very well. This guy at the magic shop knows what he is doing, as does apparently the smith. It looks fantastic, and as soon as you put it on and attune to it, I assume you attune to it,
Yeah.
there's this feeling that you get, like, all of, I don't know, all of these reckless inclinations that you have to protect the people around you, you feel this strength and solidarity in your connection to all of them that seems to feed this part of your soul and give you a little bit more power, a little bit more strength. This bond between all of you seems to feed into you right now. And Cassia, you are still partially attuned to the spirits in the sword. Like, the armor works without this, but you had a bond with it so long at this point that, like, you still have this link. And you can tell, like, as you start feeling this, she kind of, too, in her suit, and she looks over to you, and you feel this, I like that. That's good on you.
Thank you.
She sort of settles back down.
Now, I think everyone is exhausted. We should probably get some sleep.
I'll watch over.
Do you want to sit with me by the door?
Yeah.
And I will lay down in front of the door as is my habit.
She sits cross-legged next to him and Like, you kind of hear mumbling, like, back and forth, and eventually, like, while the armor is still technically awake, the spirits inside of it kind of settle down, and you can remember some of the things as she imagines, like, her dad tucking her in at night. And you hear that same
Which would
kind
be
of...
interesting, because if you want to, flames can make the pictures of what that happens looks like.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, kind of in a little bit of a light show, you sort of see some of these memories playing out as she gets tired and begins to sink into something that resembles a sleep, of her father tucking her in and her mother humming a lullaby. And Chipper is kind of transfixed by that too. And you kind of see her over there, like, eating some of the snacks that she's taken and, like, crying a little bit. She kind of squishes Lord Boggleson before remembering that he's covered in slime. And Tools and Oddswan kind of come over next to you, kind of nearby to you, and put up their little bedrolls too. You guys all are able to get a solid 8 hours uninterrupted, and that is a good place to end for tonight, seeing as the time dictates. So it's a little bit long. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's all right.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Good.
We're gonna call it for the evening there, folks. Hope you guys had a good time joining us. We will be back next week, same time, same place. If that is not the case, we'll let you guys know via the Discord if something happens to the schedule and we need to reschedule. Just a reminder on that note, the Discord, the link is there. You guys can log on, check that out. It's a good place for the announcements. It's a good place to keep touch with us. It's a good place for the in-character interactions in the Hags Master down towards the bottom. Reminder, it also has information on Danny and Kyrie's creative streamings. Anytime we go live, there will be notifications there. So check that out. Our YouTube channel is the video repository. All of these sessions that we do get uploaded there. This one should be up and live, available for you guys on Sunday. That's when I typically have them go live, when I remember to. I think we are, at the moment, all of the important stuff is uploaded, so the full Delirium's domain is up, the full of our slog through the Tomb of Annihilation is up, all of the one-shots that we've done. I think at this point the only thing I'm missing are some episodes of Cover Your Assets that I still haven't tracked down yet, but I'll keep looking for those, and as soon as I find them I'll get those re-uploaded as well. That is all I have announcements-wise, and so I will just remind you all
To grab your bats and grab your balls.
And if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a glass house. Good night, everybody.
night.
Good night.